28 days until the National Football League draft. It is opening day of the national pastime that is Major League Baseball. How you doing? I don't know what that thing was last night on Netflix. I mean, I had to search around a little bit. I was glad to see Barry Bonds, Albert Pujols, San Francisco. By the way, I put the shovel in the ground to break ground on Oracle Park, which used to be AT&T Park. I told my wife last night, and she remembered, Orlando Cepeda, Juan Marichal, Willie Mays, and Stretch McCovey were with us when we broke ground on that stadium. And to see where that thing was last night and how beautiful that was, man, that thing looked good. Phillies open up, obviously, today, opening day. It's always a great day. One of the days when I was a kid I used to look forward to. Love Major League Baseball. Grew up a Major League Baseball fan, more so than a football fan. I grew up an enormous Yankee fan. I told people this, when I was a kid, I had Yankee baseball on WPIX and I had Mets baseball on WOR. And back in the day, you had blackouts, which meant you couldn't air the games that were home. Like, you couldn't watch Yankee games at home. So you watched the Mets when they were on the road, and you watched the Yankees when they were on the road. And I was lucky I grew up in an area where you had an American League team and a National League team. So I got baseball every day, and it was great. And it is. 28 days until April 23rd also. And tonight, Sweet 16, college basketball has been sensational. 10 million people are watching the national semifinals and Sweet 16, getting to the Elite Eight, getting to the Final Four. And then next Monday will be our national championship. And I'm looking forward to it, dude. Hey, listen, don't ever tell me that the sports pages are not owned. And don't tell me they don't own the national limelight right now. Without live broadcasting, these networks die. And they die on the vine. Super chats go to the top. Also, please hit the like button. And this is how it works right here, like Kyle. Kyle is the only guy, and super chats are the only thing that could take me off our open. And here we go. Miles reworking his contract, and Eagles bringing in Chris Bell for top 30 visit. Let's get it on. Still hanging on there with Myles Garrett, right? That's all on the player there. Does he want to end his career like Joe Thomas and never experience winning? So all the things that you guys talk about with winning. Myles Garrett is in Cleveland. He started. He wants to finish where it all started. And like Joe Thomas, arguably one of the top offensive linemen in his era, will never experience winning in any way, shape, or form. How important is winning when you're making $40 million or you're going to Canton as one of the best players? You can't control winning Super Bowls. Okay? You can't. You can't control winning Super Bowls. You have no bearing on that. My guy Sills, how you doing? If the Patriots don't get AJ since the Eagles brought in his babysitter, you should suffer a consequence. Since you brag about being right, it's only fair you do the best. By the way, it's March 26th. Relax there, bro. You're getting a little ahead of yourself, like you guys did a year ago when you were telling me you were Super Bowl contenders last year. You were never Super Bowl contenders. You were never Super Bowl contenders. You thought you were, okay? You thought you were, and you weren't. You were never Super Bowl contenders. Not when a JV team beats you in the opening round of the playoffs. Right? Don't shit yourself here. You were never Super Bowl contenders. We said it from day one. We're going to repeat. What's the M. Reyes thing? We're going to repeat. 14-3. All that bullshit. Come on now, right? Come on now. Tush push, Rip, Jurgens. I go to the sideline after we score. All the coaches are so juiced up, like saying, hey, yeah. I'm like, no, dude, get the F away from me right now. Not cool, guys. Hey, I saw that too, that he was on like a radio show in Philadelphia, and he was like this. He goes, I guess his disc burst, and so it wrapped around his sciatica, and he could barely walk. Okay? How you doing? There you go, my friend. There you go. With those BS things that he always throws out. I guarantee you he'll have the draft as an A+. He'll have, hey, you guys talk crap to me about what I say. Here's M. Reyes today. 14-3. NFC champions. Super Bowl champions. Hurts is elite. What else? Our acquisitions we made are super. Every one of them. Sirianni's the next Bill Belichick or Don Shula. How you doing? Whatever. It goes on with the nonsense. A.J. Brown got the Eagles by the cojones. Keep him. Contender, lose him. Pretender. There you go, bro. Appreciate that very much. Sills, looks like the Myles Garrett Cowboys trade back on the market. Takes them from pretenders to contenders. Let me take a look at this, and I'll give you my takeaway on this because I heard this morning. Myles Garrett to the Cowboys. Oh, no. Oh, and you got Joshua Uche. Oh, wait. Here we go. What do we got here? Adam Schefter. Let's see here. Adam Schefter. What do we got here? Cleveland Browns. And reigning NFL Defensive Player of the Year, Myles Garrett, have agreed to modified language on his contract that became official this week. Woo! Yes, sir. Okay. Does that mean modifying more teams that he would want to be traded to? And here's what's being said as well. Modifying the cap hits, which means more guaranteed money for the dude. So if they do want to ever move him, they can move him. Interesting. Let's see what I would give up on the Eagles for a guy like Myles Garrett. I would give up Jalen Carter, or I trade him Jalen Carter for Myles Garrett. If you want to win a Super Bowl this year and next year, I'd trade him. I'd trade him Jalen Carter. I'd make that trade straight up. Straight up. Straight up, I'd make that trade. Straight up. I would make that deal. I would. And then let Cleveland have to worry about paying that guy $40 million. I'd make that trade straight up. Absolutely. Absolutely. I wouldn't have a problem with that, and that puts you in the conversation. It would change your philosophy, though, definitely in the NFL draft, if you were to do something like that. Cowgirls can't afford him on their roster. Yeah, another guy that falls in a stupid conversation about teams not being able to move around money. Don't ever worry about the salary cap, my friends. People figure a way to make it happen. Jalen Hurts straight up for Myles? Yeah, no, I don't think. You'd have to send Jalen Hurts and 2 number 1s for Myles Garrett. The defense should be elite, yet the offense is still crap. Myles Garrett would not happen due to being a Cowboy fan. Let's see here. Your favorite baseball player to watch when you were growing up, Sills? Dick Allen. Dick Allen, my friend. It sits on my desk. Hey, by the way, I don't have to be a phony Philly guy. This has been on my desk forever. A Dick Allen signed baseball he gave me in Clearwater. What you doing? Dick Allen was my favorite player growing up to watch. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's see here. Did I miss the super? Guys, I appreciate you. By the way, we're going to do some draft stuff today. Okay? Let's keep it real. If the offense would have been within the top 15, they should have been, because the NFC outside of the Rams was not real strong. Well, the offense was not real good. That's not a great offense. Hey, by the way, I think it's time people start coming to grips. The offense is just names alone. You're not very good over there right now. And I don't think a new coach is going to make any difference with it. And especially an inexperienced guy. No matter what you do, dudes, I don't believe that you're going to be better on offense this year, because I don't think your talent's that good. And that starts in the offensive line. This is what I'm saying. Hey, you can say whatever you want, but I don't believe you have very good offensive talent right now. And by the way, clearly in passing, you don't. How can you have two 1,000-yard pass receivers, and you're at the bottom of the league? You're like the 5th worst passing team in pro football. How can that be? We're also going to do something today, and we're going to look at positions on the team. We're going to look at groupings, okay? And we're going to go through that, and we're going to go down that lane on groupings of the team. Offensive tackles, as we're 28 days to the draft. So we're going to look at groupings on the team. Do me a favor. Hit the like button. Appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. So we're going to do that here in a second. I do like that Myles Garrett. That's an interesting thing what they did, to say the least. Okay? Restructuring a contract, and you're doing it right around the draft. So, I mean, that's pretty interesting that they're doing that around the draft here. All right. So, Pietas. Yes, heard it on Dallas and Chicago, the fan, Sills. Woo! Dallas Cowboys with a trade. All right. Hey, I think there's something wrong with the chat. Is that right today? Sure hope not here, but we're going to go over groupings, and I hope there's nothing wrong with the chat here. So again, yeah, hey, appreciate Jimbo you asking me that. Phillies opening day too, by the way. Yeah, so I think there's some Sills. I had the same issue this morning. Okay, so we got a problem with the chat here. So I don't know how we're going to hear you guys here a little bit today, but we're going to go into this here. And what we'll do is we'll go into what I plan on. We're also going to look at edge room. We're going to look at O-line, and we're going to look at safety today. So for some reason, they are delayed coming in. Oh, okay. So just keep typing away. Hopefully they end up getting straightened out here, and they're just a little late coming in. So Zander, all right, that's cool. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over the groupings. And as you get ready for the NFL draft, I think you'll get a sense of where we think these teams are, and where, again, at the end of the day, they may have to go into the draft here. So let's do this here. I'm going to leave the quarterback out of the conversation, and I'm going to start with the grouping of the running back. Saquon Barkley, Tank Bigsby, and Will Shipley. Now, if I were to give an overall on that, you got a B player in Barkley coming off a B year. 2 years ago, he was an A guy. Now, he's a B dude. Tank is a good player, not a great one. He's about a C guy. So your running back room, to me, I think it's solid. I think that's a solid part of your football team. I do. I don't think it was obviously what it was a year ago, but there's no doubt. I think that your football team right now, again, I think that's a pretty decent room. It's one of the better rooms, I would say, in the NFL is your running back room. So I'm pretty good with that. And I'm going to do this. Probably give your running back room, I'll give it a C plus. Okay? Hopefully we get the chat going for you guys. I'd love to hear your comments. We'll figure something out here in a minute here. All right. So let's go here to the tight end group. Dallas Goedert, Grant Calcaterra, Johnny Munn, and Stone Smart. It's an aging group. It's very limited. It's not a great group. And I would give you probably on this one, if I'm looking as if I were an talent evaluator, I would look at it as that would be to me, that would probably be a C group for the Eagles right now. It would be a C group. So C plus in running back and C at tight end. Left and right tackles. Your offensive tackle positions. Mulata and Lane. Lane's on the back nine. Mulata is still a very good player. You're going to have to replace your right tackle. Okay? I mean, you're clearly going to have to replace your right tackle. So now we're going to start getting some of these in here. Let me go back here. Okay, let me go back up here. I got to figure out where I was. Let's see here. So we'll go back up here. Hold on. We'll go to here. Let's see. Tush push. I saw that. Joe Burrow. Dude, it breaks for like 5-minute periods. Chat works on YouTube and on StreamYard. Okay, so we'll work with it. It's all good. Let's see here. Let's see. Kyle, we got that. Top 30 visit. Tush push. We don't want Eagles re-sign Carter because of character issues, but Miles swung his helmet at a guy's head. Okay. He wasn't involved in a guy who was killed in college either. Okay? I don't have a problem with him spitting like that. I have a problem with his overall resume of bad moves. Myles Garrett had a bad moment. This guy has bad character at times. I mean, dude, you're never going to escape what happened in Georgia. Right, guys, Seals, how you doing? If the Patriots don't get AJ since the Eagles brought, yeah, that's right. We got this one here. Let's go down here. Miles is this generation's Reggie White. I don't think he's Reggie. He's probably Derek Thomas. Okay? I would put Derek Thomas. AJ Brown got the Eagles by the balls. Yes, we got that one. Let's see here. With the new language, the Browns could take a $41 million dead cap if they traded Garrett before June 1. After June 1, the hit is now 15.53. Man, that's great. That's great. Okay? Aren't you the one that picked the Eagles for 5 wins again? Absolutely not, douchebag. Wrong guy. Sills, let's keep it real. The offense would have been the offense would have been within the top 15. Absolutely. Okay, now we're catching up here. We appreciate you guys. Thank you. Jalen Carter and AJ Brown for Myles Garrett. No. AJ Brown for Myles Garrett and a pick for my quarterback. A.J. Brown, and they got multiple draft picks, don't they? Because Jacksonville traded for Travis Hunter last year. A.J. Brown and a 2 for Myles Garrett. I might entertain that. I might entertain it. Jay Carter and a pick for Myles. No brainer. There you go. I'm with you. Nolan Smith and the next year's 3. No, thank you. No interest. That means May 1st, I got to pick the $15 million up on a kid who's underachieving? No, thank you. Let's see. You never believe we have good anything until December. That's not true. In 2022, I picked you to go to the Super Bowl right after the NFL draft. Once again, revisionist history. It takes a good year to come back from the surgery Jurgens had. Okay, and I happen to agree with that. I think you're right. I do. Very few teams dominate both sides of the ball. Very true. If you can only truly dominate one side of the ball, you're a real contender. Get Myles. Yeah, but I think your offense needs more help than your defense, actually. Okay? You don't want Eagles to resign Carter because of character issue. Yes, I got that. Thank you. Let's see here. Okay. It's coming from StreamYard. Zander says it's delayed a little bit, but it seems to be doing a good job right now. So let's do this all over again. We're going to go all the way down to the bottom down here. Let's see if we can keep this bad puppy going. Okay? All right. So I want to do positions. So let's do the running back right here. Let's start all over again. And I want to look at positions. We're also going to look at draft positions, edge, safety, and O-line today. Okay? All right. Running back, Barkley, Bigsby, Shipley. 28 days out from the draft. Okay? 20 days out from the draft. How do you think your running back room is? Barkley, in my opinion, is a B running back right now. He's not a B plus or an A guy anymore. He's not coming off an A season. He's coming off a decent season. So I think it's what? The room is probably a C plus. Forgetting Pierce, I'm not forgetting Pierce. I got C plus. Okay? Let's go to tight end and do the tight end position. Then we'll be caught up. Dallas Goedert, Grant Calcaterra, this Mundick kid, and Smart. What do you make of your tight end room? I gave it a C. What do you got? What do you have here for it? C? I agree. I'm going to roll down there with a C. And I'm going to hang down there and go with the C here. Yeah, I think Zander's right. I think every 5 minutes it kind of like freaks out a little bit here. So again, we're just going to power through this here. And we'll go back and read all your things here. And I'll remember, Jason, you're the guy here where we left off. Jason, A-Team. So keep posting away, guys. And we'll go back and we'll read them. So I'm not going to keep doing this. So we're going to go forward here with it. And we'll work with it here. Your offensive tackles, Mailata and Lane. Look, I think that's a C also. I think that Jordan Mailata is a B player, B plus player. Lane is going to be replaced. And I think his injuries, in my opinion, are going to play a factor in your offensive tackle play this year. I don't think you're going to get consistent offensive tackle play this year because Lane's injuries to me are concerning. You know what? People are not looking at Lane Johnson heading into this year. You know, you can talk all you want about A.J. Brown potentially not being on the team. What's Lane going to look like in your run game that you're trying to reinvent? You're bringing back a 36-year-old guy who had injury issues massively a year ago Fred Johnson played a shitload of reps for him, and you're going to try to tell me you're going to try to improve your run game, and you're hoping to go around your tackle play that was a year ago not very good. Your tackle play was not very good last year. I didn't think they were too bad in pass protection, but they weren't very good. I mean, go back and look at the way they ran the ball. One of the reasons that Jeff Stoutland is no longer here is because of your tackle play. It's not just your interior guys. So I say you coming off the 2025 season, I think your tackles are C. If you go into deep diving on your team and get away from the names on the back of the jerseys, you know the stuff that I was talking to Zander about yesterday? About the names on the back of the jerseys? If you get away from that and you take the jerseys off and put jerseys on these guys with no names, that was a marginal group a year ago. I mean, it was a marginal offense. You were like 20th in offense, 16th in rushing, 25th in passing. And you want to do this. Well, it's on injury. Hey, welcome to the NFL. Welcome to the National Football League. You theory had no depth whatsoever. Besides Fred, and get this, you had so much no depth on the football team a year ago, you had to go back and trade with Jacksonville for Fred Johnson. So, I look, running back C+, tight end C, offensive tackles C. What we're doing here is showing you who you are coming off the 25 year. Let's do the next group, the guard group. How do you think your guards are? Landon Dickerson and Tyler Steen. What do you think of Landon Dickerson and Tyler Steen coming into this? Okay? Look at the guards here. What would you give the guard play coming off of 25? Can't give him a B. Can't give him an A. I mean, what kind of performance would you give the guard play in 2025? What commentary would you give on the guard play that the Eagles had in their offense? And stop with the fucking injuries. The reason that Kobe Dean is not here is because of injuries. This is part of it, okay? They're hurt and they weren't good. Again, we're talking about what? A C? See, I'm with you, WP. Okay? I'm with you. I don't think he was, a little bit maybe. Guards a C, right? Okay. So look at this. By the way, we're doing something that Howie's doing as you're getting ready for the upcoming NFL draft. We're looking at every position group. I'm not looking at one guy. I'm looking at a position group on where you're going to go in the draft. D, potential C+. My friend, if you get a C+ effort out of your guards this year, you're going to win 7 games. Okay. So let's go to the next one here. That's your center play. How good do you think the center play was this year for the Eagles, Cam Jurgens? D? You think Cam was a D? So your guard play was C, and your center play was D. And I'm not even talking about the quarterback position and the quarterback room. I'm talking about player positions, running back, tight end, offensive tackles, offensive guards, and your center. Look at what you had coming off 25 this year. You ready? C, 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 and D. Tight end play was average. Offensive tackle play was average. Guard play was average. I think your center play was below average. I'll go fair and go like this. I'll give it a D+. That's not a very good group. And your game plan, many of you in here, is what? You're hoping for health with a 29-year-old group of players. I mean, you could replace any one of those guys, and you could draft any position heading into the NFL draft in 28 days. You can improve your running game, your running back room. You can improve your tight end room. You can improve your offensive tackle room. You can improve your guard room. You most notably can improve with some depth at center. Every single one of those guys coming off of 25, those groupings and center, guard, tackle are very average. You're going on the resumes. I'm going on what they did a year ago. Recent games played. Recent production. You're going on the history of the players, which is sometimes a little risky. You're assuming that the players are going to respond and go back to 24, 3 years removed from that season, and 3 years older, that they're going to go into that room. I don't subscribe to that. Plus, you could theoretically draft a running back in the 3rd round, a tight end in the 1st round, an offensive tackle in the 1st round, a guard in the 1st round, and a center in the 2nd round. That's how poorly they were in 25. I mean, now we're going to get to the defense. We're going to do the defensive side of the football here. But look, I said I excluded the quarterback because the quarterback's going nowhere in this conversation. It's just going nowhere. All right, so let's go over to the defensive side. And let's start with the ends. Defensive ends, Moro Jomo and Jalen Carter. Carter and Ajomo. Ajomo, Carter, and Brian Young. What grade would I give in that room? I would give that a B. Ajomo and Carter and Brian Young. I'm okay with that. I think that's pretty good. I don't think Carter had a great year in 25 at all. I think Ajomo how about this? Ajomo surprised everyone with what he did. Young was a pretty decent backup. When he got in, he produced when he got in. So I think that's a pretty good room. I still think you need more depth over there. But I think that's not bad. Now, again, Ty Robinson's got to do something at the end of the day because I don't think that, he's shown enough right now. But, I mean, that can't be Jalen Carter's backup. You know what I'm saying? That can't be his backup. So let's see here. Let's see. You big bad making multiple profiles just to be heard. I'm not hearing this. Let's see here. Ajomo had a B year. Jalen Carter was not an A in 2025. You fucking crazy. Young's a good player. He is. Sills Barkley graded out to a B, and the running back room was a C+, but the O-line average out to C-. Bijan is an A+ behind last year's O-line. He'd be a B-. Well, look at, like I said, you got a C line, and you've got a C-plus running back room. I clearly think you can upgrade. Ajomo had a better year than Carter? Yeah. Thanks for being here. Mo Jomo played the D-line room is top-heavy. Yes. So you're basically saying find a replace. No. I'm saying add. You can add. No. No, you need to add. This is what we're doing. We're looking at your room, not player. I'm looking at your guards, your center, one, and backup, your offensive tackles, and your tight ends, the group. That's what I'm looking at. If Clinton Hurt believes in Ty, I'm good with it. A lot of work to do, he says. A lot of work to be done with him. Carter needs to play end 35 to 40% of the time. Carter was overused. No depth is going to cause more injuries. Hollywood, not only that, but no depth and players next to him were not as good. They got enough running backs. What are you talking about? What do you mean they got enough running backs? Your running backs were common last year. They don't have two great backs right now. How many people believe that Saquon Barkley had a fucking great year last year? He wasn't great. What a fucking Eagle glazed donut. Ajomo got people's attention around the league. Yeah, why so? Because he's a 7th-round pick. Let's see here. Raiders drafted Brian Young, but it was the wrong Brian Young. Rams drafted. Sills, do you think we go O-line first round? Playboy. I don't think you'll go running back, obviously, in the first round. But I think you could go. It's a C-plus room outside of Barkley. I mean, I don't know. I think Barkley's running out of gas. Your tight end room, I think you could draft somebody high there. Top 3 rounds. Your offensive tackle, I think you could draft somebody in the first round there. The Penn State kid, if he's there, I wouldn't be shocked if the Eagles drafted a guard there. And your center, you might want to think about getting some depth. 3, 4, 5, somewhere in that round. Okay? So I could see them in there. Our depth at every position besides linebackers an issue. JD, I think that's a product of your success. Every single guy that you guys had at backup, like in 24, all those guys were elevated starters, and it depleted your roster. The bottom of your roster right now needs to be filled as much as your top of your roster. Okay? So this exercise is making me think of the draft. That's right. That's what we're doing here. Pietis, this is exactly what we're doing here. So in the offense, like I said, I'd be good pretty much. Like, do I want to get a running back in the first round? Obviously, no. A tight end, maybe. Especially with what they're going to try to do offensively. A guard? Maybe the kid from Penn State. A center, you're going to need depth, 3, 4, and 5 rounds. I'm okay there. All right. They need a back like Gibbs in this offense. Hard to find, dude. Okay. I don't know, Sills. 1140 yards behind the center and a broken back. And a guard that couldn't walk is very impressive. Hoss. Well, where in the world do you think you're going to get better than this coming year with these two guys? You think these guys are bouncing back? I don't. They're older, and you think they're bouncing back. Okay, whatever. Hey, by the way, how many games did Cam miss last year? And how many games did Landon miss last year? Could somebody put that out there for me? Okay. Somebody put that out there for me. Let me see. I'll show you something here too, Mike. So let's see here. 1140. 1,140 yards divided by 17. That's 67 yards a game. You cool with that, Mikey? Mikey, 67 yards a game? At 4 yards a carry, you all right with that? All right. That's what that comes out to. That comes out to 67 yards a game. Shipley didn't take a step back. He never stepped up to beg with he had one highlight run, a 30-yarder in the playoff game. I remember that. He surely did. He really was a non-factor. Hey, maybe in this new offense will be more of a factor. If they can use Barkley the same way the 49ers use their running backs, Barkley should be okay. Yeah, that's if you have a quarterback that can find him. Really need to go guard tackle round one, okay? Acquire veteran edge. That's what I would say is the biggest need. Proctor, if the Penn State and Miami O-line guy are gone. This is correct. Guys like that kid. Zander was right. I didn't realize that kid is the best. Is Gibbs was great. He was great. Yeah, I heard this comment from John McMullen today. He says O-line in the first, best available. Well, I'll tell you what, best available at 23, if it's O-line, every one of those guys I would draft in the first round because every one of them, after the kid from Miami, and the kid from Miami is graded as the best offensive lineman in this draft. There's nobody better. And I don't believe anybody's better than Francis McGowan. There's nobody better. He's a better pass protector. He's a better run blocker. Nobody doesn't think that guy is not the first offensive lineman that will be taken. He will be. Okay? His metrics and his tape, they collide with one another. Nobody's better. He's not going to be available for you. Two of the guys after are a little bit better than the other guys, but there's like 7 offensive linemen. And I'm going to give you my top 5 linemen in a little bit here. There's 5 guys, and they're kind of all in the same room. I don't really give a shit. Get this. You know the problem becomes drafting? You guys are looking at the names on the back of the jersey. I don't look at the names on the back of the jersey. I look at their tape, and I look at their metrics. You guys are looking at names on the back of the jerseys. It's almost irrelevant who their name is. It's not irrelevant where they played. Competition they played. That's not irrelevant. The name on the back of the jersey, I don't give a fuck about. Excuse me, Aunt Betty. I know we're in the holy time, so I apologize. Okay? Thank you, Kim. Hey, all I'm saying is, okay, I don't care about the name on the back of the jersey. It's completely irrelevant. Seals the Eagles like center backup Drew Kendall. Yet to be tested. Okay, give him another opportunity. That's cool. Hey, Sills, just got here. Myles Garrett to Philly. You hear about what the Browns did in his contract? They hoping for a trade. I don't know if that means they're open for a trade. Okay? I don't. The kid Proctor's is insane great. All right, so I'm going to go to the defense here. All right? I'm going to go to the defense. I'm going to give you what my position grouping is and what I think they're doing. And coming into the time when you're going to draft, you're 28 days from the draft. Here's what I think of the Eagles. I think your defensive ends, left end, Jomo, and your right end, Carter, I totally give that room a B. I like Brian Young. I would like to have another guy with a little depth. Your Will and Sam linebackers. Your edges. Nolan Smith, Alex Hunt, and the kid you got, Edekave from the Falcons. Coming off of 25, I think that's a C room. And I think it could be better and get better, but I think it's a C room. Okay? I don't think you're very deep. I don't think you're very experienced. Nolan's got experience. Hunt's kind of getting there. There's just the word too much potential instead of actual production. There's not a ton of production there. So, to me, it's kind of a C. Let's go to the next group. Your inside linebackers, your off-ball linebackers. Bond, Campbell. I would say exceptional. With Munden and Trotter as your backup, it's a fabulous room. I'd give that an A. That is a fabulous room. I think your linebacker group is probably your strongest group on your entire team. As a matter of fact, I got to go back and do the wide receiver room. And I'll do that in a bit here after I'm done with the defense. But I think your off-ball linebacker group is exceptional. Munden, Trotter, Bond, Campbell. It's the best I've seen the Eagles at linebacker in the 5.5 years I've covered your team. And it's not close on how good that group is. I don't think there's any coincidence with Vic Fangio being there that group is that good. That's an A group. Your corners. Woolen, Tariq Woolen, Quinyon Mitchell, and Michael Carter. Actually, excuse me, and Ringo. That's your group. Tariq Woolen has never played in this defense and has never played with these guys. First and foremost, you have to see if he's going to be able to fit into a system. You have no idea. I'm assuming because they made the sign for him that they feel he can fit in. We'll have to wait and see. Exceptional talent. A lot of great ability. And here we go again. Was a productive kid when he was younger, when he was with Pete Carroll. When Pete Carroll left, by the way, he was benched with him, and he was benched with the new coaching staff for character issues. Whatever it is, there's some sort of landmines with that guy that stops him from being a productive player. Okay? It just stops him from being a productive player. Talented? Yes. Disruptive? Yes. Disruptive in his own career? Yes. So, again, Quinyon Mitchell's exceptional. Tariq Hill is an underachiever. And Ringo is never panned out. So, as a group, your corners, you think you have the best corners in football. Based on what? Hope? So, look, if you're talking potential, I guess. If you're talking production, you're not. Production's reality. Skill set and what you think the player can do. I mean, where in the world would you think that Tariq Hill has made you the best cornerback tandem in football? Based on what? Seattle letting him loose? And the Eagles giving him a 1-year contract at $12 million? That doesn't make sense. Follow the money. I think that group, and the only reason it's a B is because Mitchell's greatness. The rest of those guys, outside of Mitchell, that's a C- room, dude. It's a B only because of Mitchell. You take Mitchell out of that conversation, that's a C- room. Your nickel is an A. He's just a great player. Your safeties. Epps and Makuba. There we are with the word potential. Epps is okay. He's a C+ player, somewhere in there. Makuba has shown signs. My opinion, that's a C room at best. So, in your draft, theoretically, you can get more depth maybe in a latter round for your ends. Your linebacking room is exceptional. It's just great. Your edges are very common and very average. Clearly, you need something there, and you think if you're going to get an impact player in this upcoming draft, you're high. So you're probably going to have to make a move, I would say, more so for a veteran guy than any other kind of guy. And your safeties, I don't think you'll draft a guy, but you could draft a guy in the second or third round at safety. Your wide receiver room, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, 2,000-yard receiving guys. I know everybody says that and starting to chip away at A.J.'s game and his production since he's been a Philadelphia Eagle. Devontae Smith a year ago. How many people think Devontae had a great year? I thought he was okay. I didn't think he was exceptional. I didn't think A.J. was exceptional. The problem with the offense is you got too many star names with guys on the back of their jerseys that you're in love with their resumes and not in love with the production of what they did a year ago. Their production didn't live up to the name on the back of the jersey last year. And sometimes that's conflicting. How come he didn't live up to that? Well, it's called production. So really, there's a lot of places you could go in the draft here with this. Seals, you tell us our depth has been a problem every year, including 24. Stop going to 24. I understand you're concerned about the depth, but this is the NFL. Every team goes through this. So your depth in 2024, folks, when they had depth, they had Josh Sweat, they had Milton Williams as their defensive, their edge and their defensive end. And you know who their backups were? Their backups were Moro Ajomo and Nolan Smith. Those were the backups on the team. Those were the guys that got elevated. You're a product of your success. Stop talking like you're comparing yourself to the Jets. Every team's not a contender. Stop being common. Sills, if Eagles get Garrett, do you think they repeat as division champs? If you get Myles Garrett and plug that guy in on your defense, who do they want? They're going to want a player too. If it's AJ, great. If it's Carter, that's a different story because the integrity of the middle of your defense then will be compromised. If I were the Browns, I'd want Carter and not AJ. I'd want Jalen Carter. AJ, maybe 2 years, 3 years tops with top performance. Carter could give me 5 years of interior defense. Saquon Barkley had 13 touchdowns and 5.8 yards per carry. What year was that? 24? Do you think he did that last year? Had 5.8 yards a carry. Dude, I think you need a Rip Van Winkle. You need to freaking wake up. This is true. You never really know when you have an Isaiah Rodgers till he gets put in the fire. Maybe Jonathan Jones can be that. Possibly. If Proctor and Lomu both available, I'd take Proctor. He plays in the SEC, better competition. I would too. Absolutely, I would. Seals, Proctor is a no-brainer with stout scheme. Proctor in an outside zone scheme doesn't look like a good fit. Okay? Chris Cooper versus Jeff Stoutland, when you need an all-lineman in this upcoming draft, is insane to fire the guy. It's insane. You should have got rid of Stoutland after the draft. If anything. Okay? Hurt showed flashes, needs to put it all together. Why more confused in him going forward than Nolan? Not a concern at all. Now, I know this for a fact. You are so effing annoying. Go, Evan. Thank you very much for getting off of your boyfriend's bed and typing that today on a Thursday, that you felt compelled to do that. Do you know how great of a thing that is for me? That I made you so upset that you got your panties in a bind that you had to write that? You need a girlfriend, guy. As my wife would say, really? Check your man card. That guy went to bed at night, got up this morning, and felt he had to write that today and tell me what he thought. Bro, that's stalker stuff. You need to check your man card, kid. I mean, wow. I get a rise out of you that much? You must not have a girlfriend. I think that Trotter kid's down in Missouri. If Miles came to Philadelphia, that number one defense. Yeah. Let's see here. Thanks for being here. Hey, thanks for being here. That's somewhere writing a nasty email about play. Hey, man. Man, got to tell you. Some of these dudes in here. You guys are wild, man. Let's see here. Hey, Dan, your take is much better when you give the team some credit instead of, I'm going over what you are right now, man. What are you looking at? Let me guess. All A's across the... Okay. Let's see here. I said Coop is one of the best, and I said I gave him an A. He's not including Coop. In the safeties? No. I'm not. Let's see here. Who cares what he says? He's not very smart anyway. But Cooper needs to improve his tackling. Actually, he needs to stay healthy. Let's see if we got any smart folks in here today. I'm going to say it again. Take that to Buffalo, Minnesota, Arizona, Cincinnati, Jacksonville, Chargers, Houston, Cleveland, whoever else. They're banners here in Philadelphia. Congratulations. By the way, I think you leave a couple on the table. Let's see here. Let's see here. By the way, I'm slow playing it because of what's going on with the chat today. So it's all good. I got you guys. I'm getting to all of you. Last night, Battle Royale, you said Dallas was 10th and Philly was 13th. You later said the Cowboys aren't a Super Bowl contender. I don't think if you're the 10th team in the NFL that you're a Super Bowl contender. I think there's 5 of them. We pointed those out about 2 weeks ago. There's your explanation. Because you're a top 10 team doesn't mean you're a Super Bowl contender. Do you think that? You think there's 10 football teams right now in the NFL? Let's play a game with Eddie here. And let's play Eddie's game. And let's see how many Super Bowl contenders, because Eddie needs it explained to him. So we'll explain it to him. Let's see here. Patriots. Super Bowl contenders? I don't believe so. I think they're taking steps back. Buffalo Bills? Okay. Dolphins, no. Jets, no. Steelers, no. Ravens, no. Bengals, no. Browns, no. Jags? Okay. Jags. Texans. Okay. Defense. Colts, Tennessee, no. Denver, yes. Okay. Chargers, no. KC, no. Raiders, no. Eagles, no. Cowboys, no. Commanders, no. Giants, no. Bears, no. Packers, probably. Carolina, no. Bucks, no. Falcons, no. Saints, no. Seahawks, yeah. I'll say Seahawks. Rams and 49ers, sure. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7 teams out of 32 teams are contenders. Does that answer your question? There we go. I think that helped you out there a little bit. If not, can't help you. This guy's a typical Italian. No bullshit, no coddling, just speaks his truth. Hey, there you go. That's my grandpa. That's my grandpa and me. Yes, sir. Just have no issues with the offense. They all made 20% less. Dude, I'll say, yeah, right, Bob. If their paychecks were 20% less, you'd be okay with it. Yeah, I'm with you. Hey, Dan, the production last year was underproductive. But what do you think they're going to do this year? They're going to play better. You're assuming that. You're just assuming that. Every single guy in that offense played poorly last year. Do I think every guy's going to play poorly? You're a reflection of a unit, dude. Especially offensively. Quarterback doesn't play as great. Receivers aren't going to. The run offensive line doesn't play great. Running game's not going to be great. Quarterback's not going to be great. Offense is going to be stagnant. No matter if you have Devontae have a great year and the 5 other guys play poorly, that's why this notion of how you guys are building your defense right now by signing 3 guys or 4 guys and filling in with rest with Timu and draft picks, I don't think that's a winning formula. You've never went down that lane defensively in the last 7 years. Now you're changing philosophy. You're actually paying people on defense where you've never paid people on defense before. Now you're paying them. You haven't paid the 2 Super Bowl teams. You weren't paying anybody on 22 and 24. There was nobody making money outside of Slay. Who was making top dollar? Fletcher was making good money in 22. Slay was making good money. Bradbury hadn't signed that extension yet until the offseason. BG was making probably good money, but those were old contracts. There were very few people. Like, again, I'll make a point to you here. Jordan Davis is the only player that you've drafted in the last 6 years that has made a second contract. Think about that on defense. Nobody else has signed a contract extension that played on defense in the last 6 years other than Jordan Davis that you drafted. And you're now changing that by saying we're going to sign Cooper, Cooper and Q and Carter and Davis. It'd be the most that you signed in a long time. Most guys don't get the second contracts. I think Sweat was making money too. Let's see here. Just if you package AJ and Nolan to the Rams, would you ask for Fix and Kitchens with their second? Fisk makes the D-line nasty. If I'm the Rams, why am I giving Fisk and Kitchens up for AJ and Nolan? AJ would be this year's version of Devontae Adams. And Nolan might not play on that defensive front 7. During the 24 season, you said we didn't have any depth as well. That's why I mentioned that. It's okay, smart guy. Yeah, no. And last year, I told you had no fucking debt, and you didn't have any freaking debt. So, again, congratulations to you, kid. That guy still wears a mask in his car. His car all by himself. Funny. Bob, you're on your cues today. What up, my friend? Appreciate you being here. Hey, Sills, did you hear anything about Myles Garrett contract being restructured? What do you think? And he'll be on the trading block? I think, listen, well, here, I think that you could make this comment. Okay? If you telegraph that, what are you telegraphing publicly that you're redoing the deal for? Don't you think that's smoke signals to tell other teams to call us, but we're not calling you? Here, get this. This guy reminds me of my old lady. She calls me the stupidest guy on the planet, but she married me. Prince is here every day and says this. Thanks, Prince. You like my old lady. No, who's the dumbest person? Her or me? Hey, don't, Kim. All right. Let's see here. I'd be willing to trade Carter or AJ and McKee with a 1 and possibly a 3 to get Myles Garrett. Throw in Nolan, what, like TP paper? This pains me because I like McKee, but Garrett must be an Eagle. Let's see here. I like the way we're handling the chat today. I went way back and so that it could stay in here. By the way, we're going to get to these rooms here in a minute. Hey, Farzetta's going to join us only for a couple minutes because he's got opening day obligations with the Phillies. So he's going to join us at around 3:30 Eastern, probably all the way up until 3:45, something like that. So it won't be long. I just meant sometimes you're over the top with criticism. I don't expect you to kiss Eagles' ass here. You give some credit. Sounds good. Good today. I like the taste. Hey, Edward, I'm not for everyone. Okay? Hey, Sills, what does Howie have to do to blow your socks off to make you feel better about the upcoming season in 26? Or is it a sacrificial year? Bro, you went out and got Myles Garrett. Oh, bets are off. I don't really think there's anything you could do in a trade or anything you can do in the draft that's going to make you better. Getting Jonathan Grenard, I don't think that makes you better. I think you lose draft picks and you're going to pay the 30 anyway when you could have just paid the 2.5 extra. Hey, that's not a game plan. Remember I told you this? I said, I'm not paying Jalen Phillips, really, the 30. But if you end up paying the 30 anyway, why don't you just pay Phillips? That makes no sense. So how many years can Garrett give you? 3? I think he's got 3. Daily reminder, you're backtracking. I don't know what he's talking about. I have no idea. Have no clue what he's talking about. Yeah, I'm not. If I'm the Rams, I'm not doing it. I'm giving up too much of my good team. I'm giving up too much that I have on my team. Once again, like I said, I'm not giving Jalen Phillips 30. Okay? You never had a plan if you give Grenard 30 and you trade more draft choices. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about what he's going to do. If that guy trades for Grenard and pays him a 3-year contract and gives him the 30 and you lose 2 more draft picks, make that make sense. Yeah. Prince, I have no idea why you're here every day. I really don't. Let's see here. I missed your super death. Let me see. me go back here. Here we go. Hey, Sills, what does Howie? Oh, I read it. What does Howie have to do to blow your sock? Yeah, I already told you. I don't believe there's anybody in the draft, or I don't believe there's anybody like in free agency. I don't think there's anything with a trade unless it's Crosby or somebody like that. I don't think. Okay. That it could be somebody like that. Let's see here. If Garrett goes to the Niners, it's over. If Garrett goes to the Cowboys, it's over. Myles Garrett, Quentin Williams, Kenny Clark, Rashawn Gary, you're not better than that. What would make you think you're better than that? Like I said, if Garrett goes anywhere, Garrett's a game-changing player. He goes to the Rams, it's over. He goes to the Cowboys, they're going to be exceptional. He goes to the Patriots, the Broncos. He could make the Bucks better. That's what kind of player he is. Like, that guy could make the Bucks better. Jills, would you replace Trent Williams for Garrett? Send Trent Williams to Cleveland? Man, I'd want way, way more than just Trent Williams. Guys playing 1 or 2 more years, tops. Garrett's probably got 3 years with a 4th that would be competitive. So, yeah, no, I don't. No, Garrett's a game-changing dude. Okay? He's a game-changing type football player that if you put, him in a conversation with any team, he's going to make that team better. I'm doing 3 1s and I'm Cleveland. 3 1s for a 30-year-old guy. I don't know about 3 1s. Relax, kid. You know why you're here. We appreciate you. Let's see here. Garrett's the best defensive player I've ever seen. Well, you must be very young. That's cool. He will play at a high level well into his late 30s. If he's the best player you've ever seen, it shows me how young you are, but he's in the conversation of some of the greats of all time. Okay? Great 2 impactful players. Okay? Let's see here. Sills, would you fault Howie for moving up for Vega or the Miami tackle? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Vega, the Miami tackle, is worth moving up. Okay? That's a total Jerry move. Replace the replaceable guy with the only guy who's better at the position. Didn't think of it. I think the Cowboys got better without Michael Parsons. I thought by the way, I thought they stabilized their defense more once they got rid of him. Added Kenny Clark. Now they've added Rashawn Gary. I think they're moving in the right place. Again, got to pay it off in September, but they're getting better. I think. They still have to do it. Whew, man, that'd be some move if they got him. Philly 500 would say we're contenders if we were 2-8. As most Philly fans would. Still, if Garrett goes to the Cowboys and they don't win the Super Bowl, they will. Hey, let me tell you what. if they go, Pietis, and they get Myles Garrett, and they don't get to a Super Bowl, I think it's a wrap on Jerry Jones as a football man. Lane was getting spanked by Myles at camp last year. I don't know about Lane ever getting spanked. Two great football players, okay? All right? This is non-football related, so let's see here. It's a good take. Hate to admit it, but they'll be better. Yes, they will be better. They will be. So again, as I showed you here with your position groups. By the way, Farzetta's going to join us. That will be at 3:30 Eastern time. So Mac, you can't expect much from these dudes. They still wearing Batman underwear. He's the best defensive lineman in the league. Yes. By the way, he's the best defensive football player in the league. Yeah, Clark and Gary, I'm not liking that. Well, you're not looking at the group. And that team beat you. It came back 21 down. Not Gary. Sean wasn't there, obviously, but when they made that deal with the Jets and they brought Quentin Williams in, they beat you with that team without Gary. That defense beat the shit out of your offensive line in that Cowboy game. Did you forget that? Isn't it funny? You forget that the Bears spanked you up front. You forget that the 49ers spanked you up front. And you forget that the Cowboys spanked you up front. Pretty much after the September month, every defensive football team in their front seven spanked your O-line. I mean, I don't know what you were watching. I watched the Charger team with a quarterback with a broken hand beat you. And then I watched the backup football team with the 49ers beat you. And I watched the Bears go for 300 yards on the ground against you. I don't know what you're talking about being a contender. You completely forgot that. That never happened. We're still the best and the best. And you're like, no, you're not. I watched a team run for 300 yards on you. That was an anomaly. What about the backup 49er team beating you? That's an anomaly too. Hey, we're starting to add up anomalies. And you got a quarterback with a broken hand and no offensive tackles with Los Angeles beat you. The Chargers had no OTs. The Bears had 5 new starters walking the street play against you. And the 49ers had linebackers that weren't even on the team that beat you. Let's not get crazy here about where you are and where you were as a unit last year. You were never a Super Bowl contender. And what we're trying to do here is try to get and figure out where you could go in the draft if there's anything in the draft that can make you better. And also free agency. I get people that are constantly saying this. Sills, it's March 26th. Dude, March 26th? It's too late now. You didn't make any moves to help your football team. And you're like, well, the draft's coming up. Good luck. Good luck in a position that you've never landed on, really, at edge. Finding a guy. Or safety. I mean, making it sound like, hey, listen, you hit on do I think you hit on Jahad Campbell? Yes. Cooper? Yes. Quinn? Q? Yes. How about Tyler Steen? He's all right. Who else? Makuba? I don't know. You have to be determined. We'll see what kind of player he is. I don't know. Maybe. Right? Maybe. Yeah, right? Maybe. I don't know. By the way, we're going to catch up with Farzetta in a couple minutes here. Okay? So we're going to do edge. We're going to do edge, and then we're going to do O-line and safety today. So let's see here. If the Eagles go 17-0 and win the Super Bowl, the Seals program will come to an end. That's because you'll never do that. Seals, no team's going 17-0 and winning the Super Bowl. Okay? Seals, we are getting miles. We almost moved mountains for Parsons. We will this time if Garrett is fully tradable. I'm just not sold. Okay? Dan, you said Dallas is getting better without Parsons, and you haven't seen it. Yes, I did. I saw it last year at the end of last year when they started winning ball games. And they were stabilizing their defense. Instead of being the absolute worst, they got better. I saw them beat you. Nothing Sills can't tell you a drafter better than the Birds in the last few years. I think the Rams have drafted just as good, if not better. Sills, we are getting miles. We almost, yes. There's the post-June 1 cuts. That's okay. That's fair. Cap casualties. You're right. There could be people there, Pietis. Post-June 1 cuts. Cap casualties to get down to 90. You're right. That's another spot there. There will be some cap casualties. We are always Super Bowl contenders because you lose games doesn't mean you're not a Super Bowl contender. Everybody has multiple games that they may lose that aren't bad. So you thought you were a Super Bowl contender last year. I never thought you were. I said you were be one and done, and really after September you were 7-7. Eagles draft better. Rams draft better. What if they, bro? I just said you asked me to name a team that I thought somebody drafted as good. The Rams. As a matter of fact, the Rams in the last 5 years, I think they got a Super Bowl win too. And how they drafted. I don't know. Last 5 years, they got a Super Bowl win. So, all right. So it is opening day. By the way, man, I'll tell you, in today's sports world, you know what I got to do? So if I want to watch holiday football, I've got to subscribe to Netflix, Prime Video. I've got to go through Hulu. I got to go through Fruit Loop, Fuba, all this. And last night I got to go through Netflix to watch the Yankees and the Giants on opening day. And yeah, now we're jumping through hoops to get through everything to watch Major League Baseball. Now we have to go Phillies.tv or something. I don't know. Without further ado, it is a big day, so we got them just for a couple minutes because there's an opener, obviously, for the Phillies. We bring in our friend Mark Farzetta. He joins us now here on the program. How you doing, Farzy?
I'm doing fantastic. How you doing, brother? Happy opening day to
you. Opening day to me when I was a kid was one of the greatest times in my entire life. I grew up a baseball fan. I never grew up a football fan. I grew up in the New York area. I watched the Mets. I watched the Yankees. I used to be that geeky kid on WOR, WPIX. I'd have my book ready, E5. I'd wait for Munson. I'd wait for Chambliss. I was that nerdy dude that would sit there if the Red Sox came down and it would be, check this out, Farzy, watch this. Fist behind the plate. George Scott at first base. Burleson. We would have Boggs. You would have Dewey. You would have Lynn, and you would have Rice. And then on the hill, you would see McNamara and the bench over there. And I'm sitting and I'm going, Yankees, Chambliss, Randolph, Nettles, Munson behind the plate.
Wow.
Reggie and Wright. Okay. You had Reggie and Wright. And I remember Piniella in left. Rivers in center, and Martin was the manager of the team. I grew up. I learned how to count by doing batting averages. Oh, if he's 3 for 10, he's batting 300. That's how I learned. So I'm sorry I went into a diatribe here with you, but
No, absolutely not. I love that stuff. And you mentioned Dwight Evans. You mentioned Dewey, right?
yeah.
I have to tell you this because you mentioned Dewey and behind the plate in the same sentence. One of my fondest memories ever. My mom's from Baltimore. My grandfather was an usher for the Orioles for 25 years. He was right behind home plate. That was his section. Dwight Evans finished his career with the Orioles. I forget, like maybe 1989, 1990, something like that. I think he was part of the Brady Anderson trade, or really the Dwight Evans trade. But anyway, I was seated right behind home plate. Like, if you see the replay, I haven't been able to find it on YouTube, but Dwight Evans hit a grand slam for the Orioles. I was right behind home plate, first seat, against the Bash Brothers Oakland A's in the heyday, right?
Wow.
I can still hear he tied the game with a grand slam, and then I think Greg Olson came in and blew it in the top of the ninth for the Orioles. But I could still hear Dwight Evans grunt as he hit that grand slam. I'll never forget it as long as I live.
I'll give you my last greatest moment on opening day. My stepdad took me to a Mets game, and I thought I all I can remember was red. It either was the Phillies or the Cardinals. And great matchups. Either it was Carlton or whomever. Carlton's he may have been with the Cardinals because this was like in 73. I think Steve had already gotten to Philadelphia by 73 because he was in St. Louis for a little bit. Anyway,
yeah.
we had tickets right behind the Mets dugout. And I remember I had a program sitting there. I'm watching Ed Kranepool. There's Bud Harrelson. There's Jerry Grody behind the plate. And Yogi was the manager, believe it or not, of the Mets. This year, they went on to go and play the A's in the series and lost in 7 to Reggie's great A's teams. Anyway, I remember doing this. This is the ultimate geekiest thing I could ever tell, and I rarely tell anybody this. All of a sudden, I see this guy come out of the dugout, the Met dugout, and I go, it's 41. Oh, my God, it's Seaver. He turned and looked at me, and I was a little kid. He looked over at me, and I go, oh, my God, it's Tom Seaver. And he came over. He goes, you got a ball? I go, no. Let's give him a pen. He writes it. I look, and I go, it's like when you see God come out, like, right? And he comes out of the dugout, and I just saw 41. And I'm like, it's Tom Seaver. And I'll never forget that. That was my oh my God to sports right there.
Mm-hmm. That's great, man.
Moment.
And you'll take it to your grave, man.
Oh
Those
my
days,
God.
oh, it's the best. Absolutely,
it just made me. And then he turns and looks, and he goes, "You got a ball?" I go, "No." I go, "I got a program." Wrote it down there. To Dan, Tom Seaver. Dude,
that's awesome. That's awesome.
And dude, right on my desk, I told you, I've showed you this numerous times. My favorite ball player is Dick Allen. I keep this baby right here. I met him in Clearwater. And, first off, what do you think? 95 wins this year with this team?
I think, yeah. I mean, look, I think every Phillies fan is looking at the Phillies going, they're going to get 93 to 97 wins in that range, right? And then it's all about the playoffs. I'm not really of the school of like, call me when you're in the postseason type of thing. But I could understand why people are like that about the 76ers in Philadelphia, and I sure as hell understand why people are like that about the Phillies, because the Phillies at least made it to a championship and then unfortunately came up way short in the last 2 games against the Astros a couple of years ago. A lot of over-promising and a hell of a lot of under-delivering, unfortunately. But the regular season is not going to be the problem for the Phils. Phil's going to be great in the regular season. They're going to be a lot of fun in the regular season. But if your big names hit 211 like they did in the postseason last year, it's going to be a quick trip to postseason baseball.
Would you make a Schwarber in the 2-hole? You like that, moving him down out of the leadoff spot?
The greatest stat.
Is it more about protecting Harbor in the 3 spot?
Yeah, that's exactly what it's about. Absolutely. No doubt. That's what it is about. But the interesting thing there is what you stated with protecting Harper. The other part about it is the fact that the stat that matters above all stats in every sport is the record. And you can't argue with the record. It might not make sense to you, but if this record is, in baseball, if you're, 15, 20 games over 500 by doing this one thing, even though it doesn't make sense, guess what you do? You keep doing it. Kyle Schwarber is a 4-hole hitter. He is a prototypical cleanup hitter. I know he has great approaches. I know he walks. He's on base percentage is fantastic. But man, seeing even if it's a dip from like 55 home runs to 45 home runs, but you're putting that many more guys on base for him, that's going to amount to more runs in general during the course of a baseball season. So I love the idea of having him as a cleanup spot or in the cleanup spot because the Phillies don't have a cleanup hitter. Yeah. The only thing we can really cross our fingers for is that Adolis Garcia comes in here, the new right fielder, taking over for Nick Castellanos. He comes in and he's a 30, 35 homer type of guy in this Phillies lineup. But Schwarber, to me, is just so damn good at hitting them bombs. I'd rather put him in that cleanup spot to make more runs come home.
One last thing on them. Do you think it's about the young guys having to step up too and the new guys having to step up around, your centerpiece dudes? Because to me, the difference between last year's team and this year's team looks like the elevation of these younger guys. These younger guys have to step in. I mean, you could make the argument a year ago that the only team that could have truly threatened, I know it went 7 and I know it got 1 foot away from the Blue Jays winning the World Series, but the Phillies could have knocked that Dodger team out of the postseason if they had gotten to the NLCS. I mean, if they'd gotten there, and Wheeler was a key to that whole thing as well, but it's got to be the young guys stepping in, no?
No, absolutely. To me, look, Bryce Harper, I think, is actually going to have a great year. I think Bryce Harper is going to have an MVP caliber type season.
By the way, Bob Nightingale, that's his dark horse to win the MVP.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. Oh, I love Bob Nightingale. I didn't see him say that, but that's great. Yep. I think when you look at Bryce Harper this year, I don't think there's going to be a baseball season next year.
No.
All right, I think there's going to be a work stoppage, and I think this is going to be an all-out year for Bryce Harper. Going into the offseason or coming into spring training, he was talking about how he finally feels healthy and all that. So that's good. That's the most important thing. But if he could be that top 3 type player in the National League, that's going to go a long way for the Phillies. But I think the biggest difference maker for this Phillies team, it's going to be Justin Crawford in center field to at least see that he could at least belong at the major league level. Then you look at Adolis Garcia in right. You look at a full year of Joan Duran, who got acquired at the trade deadline last year as a Phillies closer. Those are the guys that I think are going to push you over the top from last year to this year. Then the other guy, you've been talking about dark horses. We've all talked about how Bryson Stott looks like he could be a 300 hitter. This has got to be the year where he's a 300 hitter. Last 2 months of the season, he excelled far beyond that. They have him batting a little higher in the order this year. He's more so taking over that Nick Castellanos spot a little higher in the order, middle of the order. But if he could be that guy, get on base, steal bases, and continue to provide a Gold Glove caliber second base defensively, then I think the Phillies are going to be set.
I agree, man. I think the 3-horse race for the MVP, Ohtani, Juan Soto, and Harper, I think this year will probably be your 3-horse race. All right, let's do some football here.
Sure.
How exhausting is the A.J. Brown story to you now?
I don't think – I was thinking – of course I was thinking about this, but I don't think I've ever seen national writers, national insiders this tired of the same story. Like there's been bigger stories. I'm not questioning that. It's just every single time they do a hit on anything, the A.J. Brown topic comes up and they're like, next day or two. And then a week goes by and you're like, I don't think it's happening. And then the next, this is happening. He's going to the Patriots. It's a signed deal. It's all but signed. And then, a couple days later, he's staying put. Him and Jalen have sleepovers together. They just signed Elijah Moore, his best friend. He's going to come to the video game parties. Like, I don't think I just, it's gotten to the point. It's gotten to the point, Sills, where I watch this and I laugh. I just go, these poor bastards. Like, at least I can, being that it's right in the home, you can kind of laugh at it. I'm of the school that he still stays here. I think Howie Roseman has actually played this whole thing perfectly for a number of reasons. You see what other guys like DJ Moore have went for a second-round pick. You see what Jalen Waddle went for a first-round pick, as well as a third and a fourth. This is incredible what you're seeing wide receivers go for. So if you have A.J. Brown in your back pocket and you don't have to do anything, why not sit on it at the very least until post June 1st, where you're going to be, not giving up or not taking that massive cap hit, literally getting cut in half. And the read I have on the whole situation is, and I've gotten this from multiple national people, he's not forcing himself out.
No.
And I'll only believe he's truly forcing himself out if on June 1st, AJ Brown posts a picture of a packed suitcase. That's the only, like, if he does something like that, like in typical AJ fashion where it's like cryptic, but you kind of get it, it's kind of easy to decipher. That's the only time where I think that he's really going to be truly forcing himself out. Even Adam Schefter recently was like, I believe he wants to be gone. Like, I believe he wants to be gone. Not AJ Brown wants out of Philadelphia. When I hear that, like around June 1st, that's when I'll really believe, like, okay, that's when he really wants to, get outside this organization.
Okay, so you don't believe that he's asked officially for a trade?
How many people have their ears to the railroad tracks for this?
Oh,
if there was a murmur of,
I don't know though, Barzy, they got that special group on that special group chat where those guys meet on Fridays where, they may know what's going on, and everybody else, how like when the Pope comes out and the smoke comes out, they have a Pope and all that. They got those special guys that sit in that room over there. They may be, I don't know.
That's a good point.
You don't believe that he's gone to them and said behind the scenes, or his agent has said, we would like a trade.
Here's what I think. I think they know he's not the happiest he could be. I think that AJ is okay if he comes back to Philadelphia and plays another season with the Philadelphia Eagles. I think he's okay. I don't think he's overwhelmed. I don't think he's blown away. I don't think he's doing cartwheels. But if they start the season or training camp and he sees what this Sean Mannion offense could be, really what are we calling it? The McVay-Shanahan offense?
Sure.
I know it's not the Sirianni offense, but if you're calling it that, that's what we're calling it. If that's what you're doing, AJ goes, oh, wow. This is interesting. I can get a lot of looks. I can get a lot of touches. I can get a lot of touchdowns. This could be good for me. Then I think he'll be convinced. But it's all going to come down to right around June 1st where we'll know whether or not pushes come to shove. I think it's been communicated that he's not the happiest he could be. Now, there's a big difference between, I'm not great, but maybe. I think there's a big difference between maybe and get me the hell out of Dodge.
Couple last ones here for you. I know you got to roll here. Okay, so are you more concerned about filet mignon, Sean McManion, I think that's his name, or are you more concerned with the loss of Jeff Stoutland?
So when I first heard that Jeff Stoutland,
it's a mind twister there a little bit.
It is because Lane Johnson, man,
dude,
like
right on.
Hearing him talk about Jeff Stoutland, certainly not at all a disrespectful way. Not at all in a disrespectful way. But him going on with, who was it, Fitz and Whitmore, whatever the guy's name is, I can't remember. Him talking about this new style of offense, like, oh, wait a minute, I could do less in this offense and be better. Like, I'm not going to be on an island as much as I've been. We're going to be moving that line of script. We're going to be moving that line a little bit more where I'm going to have more help. Like maybe I could, like basically he talked about what they're going to be doing with Chris Cooper, their new offensive line coach, what they're going to be doing as far as their scheme, their blocking schemes and all that. Like it was going to be less effort for him or less was going to be asked of him. Just to hear him talk about that was like, he's interested in this. But I'm sure he thinks that Jeff Stoutland could do anything and Jeff Stoutland could do this. But just the idea that they're going to be changing up the scheme as far as what they're asking their offensive linemen to do, especially their tackles, he acted like this was going to be a breath of fresh air for Jordan Mailata and himself, and it went far beyond, the prototypical, oh, well, what's he going to say, that whole thing. No, he seemed really sold on this idea. And he also did say that he expects Jeff Stoutland, who I believe is still technically under contract with the Eagles.
He is.
He's still going to be a part of this somehow. So listening to Lane Johnson talk about it, I was like, this seems like this could be an easier thing for him and a better thing maybe even for Cam Jurgens or for Landon Dickerson, guys that are going down to, Columbia for medical attention.
For butt tucks or something. I don't know.
We don't know. So that to me is very intriguing. And then the other thing is, as much as I want to buy in and look at Sean Mignon, whatever you want to call it. No, I love that. That's great. I'm going to steal that.
I'm serving it up, baby.
Oh, it's perfect. As much as I want to buy into it, the thing that I find interesting is this guy is such a brainchild. This guy is so brilliant. Everyone talked about him around the league when the Eagles were making phone calls about Sean Mannion and doing background checks and all that stuff. Oh, he's so great. He's so great that he didn't interview anywhere else. Like, at this point, the book is out on the Eagles. All right. You hire at the time, I believe he was a quarterback. He was a tight ends coach and a quarterbacks coach, assistant offensive line coach, and then he finally got that assistant head coach gig with Mike Holmgren and the Green Bay Packers and Andy Reid. They hire Andy Reid. They have 14 beautiful years. They took a flyer on Chip Kelly, and then not so much. Then they bring in Doug Peterson, who nobody else was banging down the door of. They win a Super Bowl. They bring in Nick Sirianni. They go to 2 Super Bowls. Nobody else is banging down his door. They go to 2 Super Bowls. They win a Super Bowl. The book is out on the Eagles. If they start calling about another coordinator or coach, other people should be calling too. But for some reason, they opted not to do it. That's, to me, one thing I just can't get over. He could be a brainchild. You and I have talked about this before. He could be brilliant. But all these other teams didn't even shoot him a text. Doesn't make any sense to me.
All right. The last thing here. So what you just explained to me in Lane's great explanation about this magical Tokyo phone book type playbook we're going to see with all these magical plays. Wow. Look at, it's like all drawing up all these Sean McVay superstar plays. It's like seeing a treasure map being put out in front of you. You go to the treasure map. All of a sudden, you go to X, you dig, and I find a spoon. Hey, I'll tell you what, for a guy that's never had a playbook before and a guy who's never made a playbook before, I can't wait to see. Doesn't this concern you at all? He's never had a playbook he's made.
Yeah. I was joking with a hockey guy the other day because Sean Mannion, I think, was at the Flyers game. And he goes, he joked that, he should help with the Flyers offense or whatever. And I was like, well, he's called as many plays in the NHL as he has in the NFL. So, I mean, it kind of works.
Oh. Hey, hit it in the corner. Blue line. That's all we do. That's all we
Dump
do.
and chase. Dump and chase. The Flyers hockey I grew up with. Dump and chase. Dump and chase. There you go.
How many games do you look at the Phillies before you put a good sense on it? Is it 20, the first 20, and then you go to the All-Star break before you get kind of a sense? Oh, you don't care. All right.
No. Sills. I'm a Philadelphia area kid.
Oh, wait, that means every game is like every Sunday for you. I got it.
The opening day, I'll tell you whether or not they're winning the World Series. Then opening day, +2. I'll tell you, who they should trade, who they should fire. I will say this for Phillies fans: it's not even a debate as to whether or not Rob Thompson's on the hot seat. They got Donnie Baseball sitting next to him now in the dugout. Man, he's on the hot seat.
Absolutely. Farzy, have a great opening day. Thank you so much, my friend.
You'll appreciate this. Also, 3:45 for Azzurri. The Italians need to win to get back into the World Cup for the first time in 3 World Cups. So. Fingers crossed.
Oh, my God. They could be eliminated from the World Cup?
They're playing the Northern Irish. You can't lose to the Northern Irish. Anyway, all right.
You robbed my flag because you turned it inside out. Get the hell out of here. Brother, I appreciate you. Have a great opening day. Thank you, man. All right. Absolutely. Mark Farzetta. That's how we do it here, man. Farzi's got opening day obligations for the Phillies, and we appreciate him. Okay, let me see here. What we got going here? Okay, good. All right. Hit that like button. Baseball stinks. Baseball's TV deal stinks. That's for damn sure. How you doing? I'm concerned with Mannion. Won't be given the patience to develop as an OC. No crap. Hey, JD, what do you think this is? On-the-job training? You're the Eagles, not the Jets. Act like it. What do you give? Training wheel lessons? Hey, you want to become an that's what it looks like with the Eagles right now. Hey, if you want to be hey, Zander, here's a new TV commercial for the Eagle fans and for the Eagles. This is a new PSA that the Eagles put out. Hey, if you'd like to become a new offensive coordinator in the National Football League, put your application in. Prior experience is not needed. Hey, if you've been on a football team or a former player, put your name in here as an application. Howie Roseman and Nick Sirianni will sit down and look over your resume, and they will go through it like a fine-tooth comb. They will look at it, all the things that you may have done or not done, whether you did tiddlywinks or bowling or whether you were in a dart team. We will put all the experience together, and what we will do, we will make sure your resume is finally looked over. Experience not needed. Apply here. 1-800-DOPES. Hey, just put your name, 1-800-DOPE. I don't have to have any prior experience at all. Okay? Well, shit. That's right. I could send my resume. It's just as filled as Sean Mannion's. My resume would be just as good as Mannion's. Sills, I'm in Hartford, passed up Stanford. Look at my boy, man. Are you on your boat, bro? Or did you drive up? Okay? Sills, what does a successful draft look like for Howie? At least 2 starters. I'll tell you in 3 years. Here, I'll tell you exactly how to look at a draft. And it's really a good question. Because some of you dopes like M. Reyes will say, we had a Grand Slam draft that Monday after the weekend draft, which is dopey as always. Guys don't even own helmets. And dopes like M. Reyes will go, we had a sensational draft. And you're like, homie, no, you didn't. But no, not that you did it. How do you know? Like, here, let me go back here. Let's go to here. Let's go to 2000. Let's go to 2016. Carson Wentz. Let's see, Carson Wentz, Isaac Seumalo, and Jalen Mills come out of that draft. Not a bad draft. You got 100-plus games out of both players as starters. You got 100 games played. Starts. Carson had 63. Seumalo had 125 games. Jalen Mills had 122 games. Pretty good. That's probably plus what you did and the winning you did. Had 23,000 passing yards, 160 touchdown passes. That's probably a B-plus draft. Derek Barnett, Rasul Douglas, Mac Hollis probably were the guys that came out of that draft. Denell Pumphrey wasn't anything. I don't think he even played a game for you guys. I mean, 122 games for Barnett, 135 games for Douglas, 127. Pretty good stuff. From 17 to 25, Derek Barnett played 24. Rasul Douglas, that's a good draft. That's a successful draft. You got a couple starters out of there. This 18 draft was great. This is an A-plus draft. Okay, Goddard, Maddox, Sweat, Pryor, and Mulata. That's an A-plus draft. You didn't even have a first rounder that year. That's an A-plus draft. Okay? The following year, 19. Sanders, Dillard, Whiteside, Miller. I mean, probably a C. Sanders was a Pro Bowler. I'll take that back. Andre Dillard wasn't a bad ball player. He got 69 games out of him. First round pick. Didn't really pan out. This 2020, Jalen Reagor was a disaster. However, Hurts covered it. Quez Watkins played a lot of games for you guys. Really, that entire draft really produced nothing but Hurts. And you had how many picks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You had 10 picks in that draft, and your first round pick was terrible in Jalen Reagor. That's like it's a B because of Hurts. A, Hurts the player. This 2021 draft is fabulous. Devontae Smith, Dickerson, Milton Williams, Kenny Gainwell, All starters, fabulous draft. It's an A draft. 22, Davis, Jurgens, Dean. Another one. Get 3 starters out of it, you're good. 23, Carter, Smith, Steen, starter. Sidney, no good. Ringo hasn't played. Ajomo. You got 3 starters. And get this. First 2 picks. One guy, not so much. The other guy, Carter. Steen, a third. And you got a 7th rounder. And 3 of those dudes are starters. That's an A draft, dude. Q, Coop, Hunt. First 3 picks. Trotter. That kid, McMahon, has been picked up by numerous teams. That's another good draft. We'll find out about 25 in the next couple of years. These are all good drafts, dude. From 2017 up, there's probably one shitty draft in that whole thing. And that's why you've had this success over the last couple of years compared to the spotty success that you had during the Andy Reid. Andy Reid didn't draft this well. Like Joe Banner didn't draft that well. He drafted well, but not that well. Where you had, if you pull 3 starters out of any draft and you get 3 starters, do Pro Bowl and all that other stuff, great. You get 3 players that contribute to your football team as a starter and you get over 100 games, that's a Grand Slam pick, dude. 100 games? Okay, dude. I'm all right with that. You get 100 games out of a guy and say he was like this pick here with Moro Jomo. Let me show you the greatest picks that you guys have had. Here's your greatest picks. Let's see here. Where is that pick? Where is it? Okay. So Jordan Mailata is a 7th round pick. And he started like almost over 100 games. Moro Jomo was drafted in the 7th round. And he's approaching 50 games as a starter. Those are stupid great. I mean, those are great picks. Great picks. I don't love Manny's resume, but I'm tired of firing a guy at the first season of adversity, first signs of adversity. These guys got to grow. Brian Johnson should have been allowed to develop. You're not at that place, though, as an organization. The Jets do that stuff, dude. JD, you got to be in a position, okay, where this is not on-the-job training anymore. The Eagles can't have on-the-job training. You're in a window now. You're not building. Do you understand the difference in criticism and expectations? You think I criticize on a daily basis. I'm talking about high expectations in your own building. Did you not guys tell me it's Super Bowl or bust? And then you criticize me for criticizing when they're not Super Bowl or bust. You got to pick a side. Is it get this, Philadelphia, is it Super Bowl or bust for success? Yes or no? Is it? Is it Super Bowl or bust? Yes or no? Because if you can't have a conversation about Super Bowl or bust, then stop complaining. Who in the NFC is better? Seattle, Rams, 49ers. They're better than you. Shit, Chicago was better than you last year. Well, let me guess. You must have forgot they beat your pants off. The Bears beat the piss out of you. Okay, you must have forgot that. Yale says the Eagles are contenders, having lost 3 starters and not replaced them yet. Okay? And a guy maybe in Woolen. Okay? Why can't the OC develop here, Sills? Because you don't let him. You answer your own question. Look at the starting roster. I did. Every single guy in your offense was an underachiever last year. You're looking at the back of the names on the jerseys and not looking at production, Yale. You're falling in love with the name on the back of the jersey and not the production. They didn't produce. Sills, the draft, if they can get 2 starters, I'd say it would be a good draft. Correct. Also, who are your 5 guys you would draft? Either tape or off-field issues. I'm going to give you my top 5 guys at O-line, also at safety, and I'm going to do edge here in a second. Only way the Eagles will be contenders is if they have a top 10 run game and a top 5 defense. That's how you win a Super Bowl 24. Absolutely. Number 1 defense, and you were in the top 10 in offense because of your run game, not because of your pass game. Who's a better wide receiver? A.J. Brown by a mile. Sills, wouldn't you prefer an established edge, though? Got to trade for him. Yeah, I don't believe we are contenders. I think it's time to develop on offense. I think it's time to replenish, is what you're saying? Yeah. Yeah, I do. I completely agree. Yes. All right. So let me pull up my Bledsoe here, and we're going to start doing positions. Let me see here. Let me give me a second. Here we go. Okay. Let me double check one thing. Okay, perfect. Okay. Okay. You want to go edge, O-line, or safety? O-line, edge, or safety first? Where do you want to go? And I'll tell you my 5 guys. Okay? Now, I want to show you something here. And I'm going to do something here, folks, that just so you know, I'm reading you something that a lot of people don't have access to. I can't tell you the exact team that gave me this. Okay. How many teams can I say use it? I got to ask this one guy. Okay. So here's what Bledsoe is. Based on the available information, Bledsoe is one of the 2 major scouting combine services. This is from a team used by the NFL teams to evaluate prospects. Okay. Where it does not list a precise number, it is used by a significant portion of the NFL teams, as its board includes general managers, personnel directors, and multiple franchises. Bledsoe often is referred to as the National Football League Scouting Service. This is the NFL scouting service. This is nobody's like Jeremiah, whatever. It's nobody. It's not Mel Kiper. By the way, Mel Kiper uses Bledsoe in his report. And it's almost verbatim. He almost like pastes and, he almost like copies and pastes some of the things that are said. Okay? So, okay. Let's do this. Let's go edge first. And here's Bledsoe. David Bailey, Texas Tech, 6'4", 251 pounds, 35 vertical, 10'9" broad, 4'5" 40. His tape is exceptionally productive. He's got an 86 grade, according to Bledsoe. Bailey is extremely hard for linemen to stay in front of. He moves like a slashing two guard, blending explosiveness, being fluid to the slip, bends, flows, around blocks, multiple angles. His leverage and lower body flexion creates game over scenarios. He's so elusive in being able to get away from blocks. Teams can run at Bailey. Bailey, due to his lack of anchor, can take on a massive presence. But his work around quickness, it helps him. If he's playing a big guy, they're saying they can anchor him down, but he gets away from it because he's so elusive. He's just got Pro Bowl upside. Now, strengths. Possesses rare short area twitch and just outstanding agility. Means this guy is in front of you, bam. That quick twitch, bang, into you, getting his hands inside. He doesn't flop, gets it inside. Man, quick twitch guys win. Always in my drafts. Makes a lot of plays behind the line of scrimmage. Man, I love TFLs. I'll tell you this. You give me a guy that's up there at the top of the list in TFLs, tackles for losses, and a guy makes an impact behind the line of scrimmage, you sold me. I'll take a guy with 28 tackles for losses, and I'll take a dude that has 6 sacks, 28 tackles for losses. You sign me up for that guy every day versus a guy with no TFLs and 16 sacks. That guy's Trey Hendrickson. You look at Trey Hendrickson's line, not a great TFL guy, and he's on a shitty defense. He makes 0 impact plays except a sack. He's not a TFL player. Look at Max Crosby's TFLs. 10 sacks, 28, 33 tackles for losses. Look at Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett with 20 sacks. Here, let me show you what a sensational, spectacular football player Myles Garrett is to this notion. We're talking Bailey here. And we're talking, again, Myles Garrett here. Listen to this. This is just last year. 23 sacks. 33 freaking tackles for losses. That's like 60 great plays of impact. You want to know why the Browns were 5th in defense on a 5-win team? That guy. I mean, 33 tackles for loss, 22 sacks on the crappy 4-win Browns is over the top. Like, Myles Garrett is such a great player. The second guy, you can have him. He's exceptional. And it not just the year he had with breaking the sack record. Listen to this. 23 sacks, NFL record. 33 tackles for losses. Year before that, 14 sacks, 22 losses. 18 tackles for losses, 14 sacks. 16 sacks, 18 tackles for losses. It just doesn't. I mean, there's nothing else to say about the guy. Just incredible. Incredible talent. And this is Bailey here. Explosive takeoff, builds speed and momentum as a passer widens. He's good on the hula hoop. Has the lean and bending concerning and a shrink wrap, which means the shrink wrap here. This is what I mean by the hula hoop. This is a drill you do. Here, I'll show you. You start here. And this is the hula hoop. They get an actual hula hoop. You start here, and you go around the hula hoop, and you make that angle towards the quarterback. That's how you get around an offensive tackle. It's a tremendous drill. We used to do the hula hoop, going around the hula hoop, keeping low, keep your angle, and it teaches you on your hips to create flexibility in your hips. Some guys can do it, some guys can't do it. Okay? So fights through direct blocks to stay connected to his track. Just a great player. Now, here's some of the weaknesses of David Bailey. Finesse approach against the run due to lack of size. He needs to gain weight. But I think that's he can do that. I think, they've got him listed at 251. I think he plays more at like 239, 240. I think that 51 is generous. Like, he showed up at the combines at 51, and I think that's why his time was not 4.4, where he usually hangs around. So he put on that 10 pounds. I think he hangs around 40. I think that needs to be a little bit bigger. Okay? Tremendous talent and prospect. Remember, these guys are all prospects. All right, so let's go to the next guy. Who did I have? So get David Bailey, number 1. Number 2, after like a debate with a guy I had last night, it is Arvell Reese. 6'4", 241. That's kind of where Bailey plays. I don't believe that 51. Now, he didn't, at the combines, do vertical, broad jump, and bench press. He didn't do any of that, but he ran a 4.46. And I'll tell you what, he was impressive in that 40. And here's the thing, too. He's only 20. He's still growing into his frame. But learning from James Laurinaitis, you know who that is, and Matt Patricia should give him a head start in understanding what it is to play in the NFL. That's a big deal when you got coaches like James Laurinaitis. And with Matt Patricia teaching you how to be an NFL guy in the college game. His third down versatility adds alignment variety, which means you can camouflage this guy in like pre-snap adjustments. And you can go to a drop 2, cover 2, and go to a banjo and go to a Tampa 2 with the guy. And he can give you fake rushes and drop. His versatility of all the guys in the draft at edge, he's probably the most versatile on a Vic Fangio type of guy that you're looking for. So he can basically rush the passer, drop back in coverage because of his speed, and he can cover linebackers because he's so big. So, I mean, dynamic deployment potential, hybrid will linebacker. You could put him at will, like in the Eagles defense that you have right now. You put him on the will side, and you just rush him off the edge with open field. Got to get bigger, though, I think. He's got to be more patient. Has the tools to become an NFL edge setter. That's key. I don't know that. My only criticism of the guy is, can he set the edge? I don't know that yet because I don't believe he's big enough. Fluid, fast, maximum. He's got that. He's twitchy, can rush, spy, can play in man coverage. Like, he's a guy, man, it's so versatile, being able to do all that. Says of the Eagles made a play for Garrett while the window's open. What's your thoughts on Price? AJ, Carter, 2 1s. For a guy like Myles Garrett, AJ Brown's not enough. AJ in a 1. For Carter in a 2. Because remember, I got to pay Carter if I trade him. Like, if you trade him to Cleveland, Cleveland's got to pay the guy $35 million. Okay? I mean, you got to pay him. So, let's see here. Let's go with some of the weaknesses of the kid. Upper body strength needs to get better. Needs better handwork. Slapping, getting those guys off you. Inconsistent a little bit in his drops. He's got it. Now, I don't think they really did a lot of that with him when he was at Ohio State. So he's so young, though, man. So I got him number 2, Arvell Reese. Number 3, I got Ruben Bain. 6'2", 263. You know, I keep hearing John McMullen say that Ruben Bain's going to have to be moved inside. If they move Ruben Bain inside, this is a bust pick. 6'2", 263. And you've been playing your entire career as an edge. 6'2", 263. If he don't make it as an edge, he ain't making it as a defensive tackle. I mean, I'm sorry. You're going to make it, get this. So you're going to have short arms outside and you're going to have short arms inside against guys like Mekhi Becton and guys like this Caden Proctor and those 6'6" guards inside, short arms. You get destroyed in the middle. 260? What do you think, this is 1954? You know, this guy's kind of a tweener in a way. And listen, I get it. You know, I want the kid to play great. 6'2", 263. Short arms, outside. You know, I'm going to put him high on my list here, 3, but I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to say something I probably shouldn't say publicly, but I'm going to. I wouldn't draft him. 6'2", 263 with short arms, and you're not sure you're going to play him outside. Are you drafting that in the first round? I mean, do you think he could set the edge? I mean, 6'2", 260 with short arms. Okay? I mean, I think he's a great player, you know, but in college he was spectacular. It's just tough for me to say this stuff. Mario's mad at me a little bit on that, and he goes, I get where you're coming from a little bit, but I'm like, yeah, I don't know, man. 6'2", 263, short arms. And you're going to go against Lane Johnson? I mean, what do you think Lane Johnson would do with a guy that's got short arms and he's 260 pounds? What do you think he'll do to that? He'll throw that thing in a trash can. Okay. Really? Name me a guy that's 6'2", 260, that's an elite pass rusher in today's NFL. Name me one. Name me one edge rusher that's 6'2", 260. Outside. No. That's a defensive tackle. Name me an edge rusher that's 6'2", 260 with short arms outside. I never considered Brandon Graham an elite pass rusher. I never considered him an elite pass rusher. He's not. So you think he's Brandon Graham. Okay? That's a fair comparison. So he's Brandon Graham? All right. Yeah. 6'2", 269, short arms, playing against Jordan Mailata and Lane Johnson. Good luck. Myles Garrett, 6'5", 275 pounds. Yeah. Good luck to you, kid. Close enough. So you think D-tackle and defensive end are the same skill set? Okay. Well, then guess what? You think he's Brandon Graham? We'll see. So does Brandon Graham have short? Let me see. Let's see if Brandon Graham has short arms. Let's take a look at that. Pre-draft. Pre-draft profile. Brandon Graham. Here it is. Weakness. Graham lacks height. You'd like to see from a defensive prospect. At times appears to be somewhat stiff-hipped. When diagnosed in play space, scouts question his versatility and ability to stand up and play on the outside. Frank Graham was extremely productive in college. Spent a long time in the backfield. Tough competitor. Great athletic ability, good instincts. What did his arm length come up to? He didn't have short arms. Not at all. Not even close. So let's get to the next guy. Zion Young. And trust me when I say this, I hope the kid gets an opportunity to get a chance to play outside. I'd like to see it. Here's Zion Young. He's my number 4. Zion Young, 6'6", 262 pounds. Kind of compared to Zadarius Smith kind of guy. Long, well-built edge rusher with size, strength, and temperament, engineered for trench battle at the next level. Young is a fiery alpha, brings intense energy to the field and locker room. He majors in block destruction, uses base power, aggression to play through opponents. He extends and locks out as an edge setter and sheds when needed, but his pursuit speed and range are a little average. He has the power to bull rush, drive through edges, but lacks instincts and variety in his pass rush. He needs to work on more pass rush moves. His NFL pressure production will lag behind without better go-to moves and encounters. He needs to work on his moves. He's a one-move guy right now. It's a single trait that a lot of defensive tackles and a lot of defensive ends, what they struggle with when they're younger. You're going to beat everybody in college. When you're elite, you don't need a whole treasure chest of pass rush moves. You're going to line up. Look, hey, for me, when I'm bench pressing 550 pounds and I'm running 4.8s, you're not blocking me. You're not blocking me. That's not happening. In the pros, everybody's great. Guys at Oklahoma or guys at Florida State or Auburn, and those guys aren't blocking me. That's just not happening. I'm bigger and faster and stronger than you. You're not putting your hands on me. In the pros, you need to have multiple moves because these guys are 6'5", 6'6", 300 pounds, multiple dudes with exceptional feet and hands and arm length. That's the one thing you notice when you get to the next level is the arm length on these offensive tackles. These guys are just insane with these like I played against a dude by the name of Don Mosbar. He was a center for the Raiders. He was 6'7". How big was Don Mosbar? How big was that guy, Don Mosbar? And I played against this guy. I didn't think he was really heavy. Don Mosbar. He's 6'6". He played center. He was 305. He was a first-round pick out of Southern Cal, a 26th overall pick. And this guy had enormously long arms. Snapped the ball, wham! I couldn't believe it. I mean, I'm like out here. This guy's blocking you because of his arm extension like this. Like you had to get that up and over on him. That's a big dude, man. 300 pounds, 6'6", played center, snapped the ball, block you with one hand. The guy was exceptional. And I think one of the more underrated guys in the league. I played against him when he was with the Raiders, and I was with the Cowboys. I scrimmaged against him. I practiced against him. I played against him. That guy was really a great ball player. Now, the kid, young, I like this kid young. Could be a little quicker. By the way, here's one thing if you put his tape on. His hand strikes, they're a little floppy. Boom. I told Clint Hurt that. He, a friend of mine asked me to look at some of these guys and what I thought of them. And I said that I thought he flopped a little bit. Like when you come out of your stance, you can't do this and grab a hold. You got to get up in there. Bam, shoot them hands. Bang, bang. Keep them inside your shoulders. If you're out here, you're getting your ass. Those old linemen will take the front of your jersey off and shred you. I'll tell you what my wife used to do. Every time I'd come home from practice, underneath my armpits and around my neck looked like I had hickeys on them. And around my armpits. Because you know why? Look, offensive linemen doing this, pulling the jerseys and giving you rubbing you because they're pulling you. And when they grab a hold of you here, man, these guys rip your skin off. They rip the front of your shoulder pads off. That's the enormous hand strength they have, these old lineman guys. I mean, they're moving that. My wife, I was at camp. She came down. She was my girlfriend then, but she came down one time and she goes, what's on your neck? Hickeys? I go, hickeys. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I got 3-hour practices every day and I got hickeys. Then I'm like, yeah, I don't think so. And so then I took my shirt off and I showed her. I'd arm all up and down my armpits. Guys just holding on to you. These guys with long hands and long arms. I'll pull your skin off, dude. Just tremendous. Yeah, Mosbar was insane. I like this Zion Young kid. Here's my last guy at edge. He's going up the draft board a little more. Keldrick Falk from Auburn. And he is maybe the guy that I would think that Howie would target. almost 35 inches in his arms. 6'6", 276. He's an undergraduate, which means he came out with another year of eligibility. Now, he's not in the 80s in a score. I think it has something to do with his not testing. He didn't run a 40. He probably going to do it at a pro day. He didn't run a 10-yard sprint. He didn't do a 30 cone drill. He didn't do a 20-yard, and he didn't do any bench press. Here's my issue, too. I had a 28 vertical. This guy had a 35. Man, I'd like to see a little more explosiveness, but he's 6'6", and he's almost 280. So, I mean, I think this is a guy sitting at 23 that potentially this would be something that Howie would look at here. Falk has long developing frame, good movement skills and potential. He's a guy that I think has a lot more upside. And do you remember the name? Does anybody in here remember the name Carlos Dunlap? I think Carlos Dunlap played at the University of Florida, and I believe he played with the Bengals. And he's kind of like Carlos Dunlap. Does anybody remember that name? I thought Carlos Dunlap was a really good football player. Okay, I thought he was a fine ball player. And so, culture player, praise for leadership, accountability, character. Won't turn 21 until the start of the year. Great striker when it comes to pad leverage. Has tools to penetrate, be a TFL player. Able to set edges, Vic Fangio. He's got an exceptionally long frame. It's a big dude. Now, here's what I don't like, but I'm not. Vic doesn't care if you have 12 or 14 sacks. Upfield burst is average when rushing off the edge. So, what does that mean? Well, you're not going to put him in open space. You're going to put Falk in more of a power area where the tight end is. So you could play, look, you guys, if you remember Carlos Dunlap played in the NFL, and he's that kind of player. Carlos Dunlap had a fabulous career. But was he an exceptional pass rusher? No. But what he was a really good edge setter. Like, let me here, one thing before we get Big Z in here. Like, let me show you what, like, Carlos Dunlap. I remember him. He was at the University of Florida, and I liked the player. I really did. I thought he really was a good player. I think contracts and all kind of got in his way a little bit, but this is the kind of player that I think this Falk kid is. So he's like 6'6" himself, and here was his career. He played 13 years, and here was his career. 9.5, 4.5, 6, 7.5, 8, 13.5, 8, 7.5, 8, 9, 6, 6, 8.5. Last year, his 13th year, he had 4. He had 100 sacks in his career. If you can get 100 sacks out of this kid Falk in 13 years, you got a hell of a football player. That's who he is. He's kind of that guy. 7, 8, but edge setter. So you put him on the strong side, and you could put Nolan on the weak side. Yeah, it's kind of like Brandon Graham. That guy's like Brandon Graham a little bit. That's who Carlos Dunlap, and that's who I think this kid here, Falk, can be. 6'6", 276 pounds, and Keldrick Falk is kind of that guy. Is he going to be a 15, 16 sack guy? Probably not. Is he going to set an edge? And is he going to be a guy to be productive? Like I said, look at Carlos Dunlap's career. Look at the tackles, 66, 55, 63, 49. How about his TFLs? 16, 16, 12, 13, 8. I mean, hits on the quarterback. He had 267 hits on the quarterback in his 13 years. What I try to do is give you a comparison of what a player could look like to me. And like I said, his best year he had 13 and a half, and his average was, he averaged for a 17-game year, 8.6 sacks in his career. Would you be cool with drafting a guy like that? That's who this guy, Falk, looks like to me. Are you cool with that? 8.6 sacks? 13 years? Brandon Graham type production? I don't know. Looks to me like the guy. So I'm going to bring Big Z in here in a sec, but David Bailey 1, Arvell Reese 2, Ruben Bain 3, Zion Young 4, and Keldrick Falk 5. That's my top edge rushers. By the way, I'm going to go my O-line and safeties with Zander next here. So without further ado, let's bring our boy in. Big Z, Zander Krause.
What's up, Big Sills? How you doing, my friend?
Opening day, bro. What do you make of it?
Yeah, Phils are on right now. I'm excited. I love baseball season. It's always good in the offseason. Sills, baseball to me feels so different than like football feels, and that's just kind of the nature of the sports. But as a fan and as I've gotten older, and I don't know if it's because of what I do and what I've done, but baseball feels so different than it's like relaxed. What I mean? You're like versus like football, I'm like tense and it's one moment a week and it's the stakes are high and all these different things. Baseball feels a lot different, but it is good to see it back on the TV.
What do you make for you?
It's freaking beautiful here today.
Oh, God,
it's the nicest day it's been in I don't know how long.
Man, there is nothing like being at the ballpark on a great day, eating dogs, having a beer, watching the game, sitting there watching Major League Baseball. Dude, I did that my entire life growing up. Yeah, I freaking love that, dude.
That's one of my it's definitely my favorite event to go to is a baseball game.
Oh, man.
I'm with Forrest, though. Bring back steroids.
Bobby Valentine says that, too.
Yeah, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
This is an entertainment business. What is this, a morality business?
Hey, all right, Big Z, we got a little news here for you, man.
Oh, you got some news for me?
Yeah, what about, the restructuring of the contract there of old Myles Garrett? And, I mean, what do you got there for me, man? Do you think that, okay, I mean, what do you make? What do you think?
I mean, it's that clear that they might be planning something there. I mean, me about Myles Garrett. He's one of my favorite players. So I can't say I'd be upset if the Eagles were to make a move, but it does look like they might move him. I don't know if the Eagles will be swinging that big. It seems like. Sills, did you see the rule that they applied for?
No.
So not only did they restructure the contract, but they got no cap relief from the restructure today. None. And they've applied for a rule change in the NFL that teams can trade first round picks up to 5 years in the future. Now, I don't know if that means that I'm just saying Cleveland is the team that applied that rule or requested or whatever applied for that change. So
are they moving him?
They may be. And maybe they're looking for the Cowboys to give them 4 first-round picks in the next 4 years.
Wow, that changes the game.
Yeah.
So wait a minute. Would you give
up? I don't know if that rule is going to go through, but
let's just say this. Would you give up a 2027 and a 28 for Myles Garrett? Keep your 1 this year?
I mean, I would, but will 2 get it done?
2
I know I said 4. 4 is insane, but if Max Crosby was almost dealt for 2, and who's the cornerback? Sauce Gardner got dealt for 2 in the middle of the year last year.
He's the guy's 30 though.
I know, but it's still Myles fucking Garrett.
Dude, 23 sacks and 33 TFLs he had last year.
That's what I mean. How long? I saw somebody in here who was like, he's the best defensive player I've ever. He is the best defensive player I've ever seen too. I'm younger, but how long you think he plays? I think realistically he could dominate for another 3-4 years.
I think he could play until he's 35 at a high level.
Yeah, me too. Probably won't be the same Myles Garrett at 35, but who knows, man? Look at like Lane Johnson. I mean, he's maybe had some more injuries, but he's playing at a high level. Like I could see Myles playing at a really high level.
Reggie played at a high level. Reggie played at a high level into his mid-30s.
He's probably the best athlete in the National Football League.
He's the best football player by far.
How about athlete?
Man, those corners and those.
Yeah, they're different. They're like a different type. I don't know, dude. Those edge.
You know what, too, man? I'll tell you what, man. I'm in love with Will Anderson, man. I think that guy's a special kid. But dude, imagine this: you're 6'5", you're 280 pounds, and you can move the way you move like Myles Garrett. That's special shit, man. It's just he's really off the charts.
Does this get it done? 2 1s and AJ Kyle? No, it doesn't.
Oh, I think that would get it done. 2 1s and AJ.
They don't want to pay AJ.
Well, bro, you're not just gonna like the deal's got to be good for the Eagles too. I mean, you got.
Why would Cleveland, who's in the gutter, trade for a $30 million 30-year-old wideout?
Okay, I'm not in your camp that you think he's finished, and I'm saying,
you think AJ Brown's at the peak of his career?
I'm not in your camp like you think he's a fucking 5th round pick now. I'm not in that camp.
Nowhere have I ever.
Zander thinks this guy's like a 5th and a 7th now. I'm like,
I'll tell you what, that dude keeps stinking it up and talking up a storm and dropping footballs in the playoff game. We'll be lucky to get a 5th for the guy.
I don't think the Eagles would give 3 1s up for him. Would you give up Jalen Carter and a 1 for him?
For Myles?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Woo! That's about the stuff you're going to have to do to get it done. Would be Carter and a 1.
Remember, the Eagles were willing to move on from Carter for Micah.
Carter and a 1.
It's going to take more than that.
Ooh,
see, I think you're overvaluing Carter right now in the trade market.
No, I'm overvaluing Carter in the Myles Garrett trade market. I mean, because if I put Carter in the open market, you're getting 2 1s for him. If I put him in the Myles Garrett.
So if they bring in Myles Garrett, you and all the Jalen Hurts haters are going to have to cover your eyeballs because this team will march their ass back. Where's the Super Bowl next year? SoFi? LA?
Yeah.
Okay. We're heading to SoFi, everybody.
Here would be my new narrative. Thank God they got a quarterback on defense. How you doing? Wow, that might make Vic want to come back for a couple more years too, dog. You put you can do it. Let me in. Let's play a game. Alex Hunt and Myles Garrett as your edges. Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter as your 2 DTs. Your linebackers are Bond, Campbell. Your corner's Q. And your nickel corner is DeJean. You got Woolen at one corner. You got to figure out that safety stuff. Whew. That's a hook. That's putting them up and putting them down right there in that front 7, dog. Immediately put you in the conversation where it's the best roster in football. Well, no, I'll take that back because your offense is underachievers.
Well, now all of a sudden you have like AJ Brown. It's like, next year you're going to be telling me better than T.O. like John.
No. I never said that.
Next year you're going to be telling me the guys the next coming.
This guy's got him as he's the next Julio Jones.
Yeah, okay.
That's who you.
By the way, Julio didn't age very well in the NFL. He burnt out quick.
No.
And so don't bring that name up because I'll look more right than ever.
How about this? I got to welcome Diana Rossini to the Big Sills group. She says this is not going to happen until post June 1. Thank you, Diane. I appreciate you coming
What are you
aboard.
talking about? This is like common knowledge here.
I've been on this train for 3 months saying New England and 1 in a 3 post June 1.
Yeah, until the Patriots take a receiver at 31 overall.
It's still not going to get it done. Dude,
Yeah, it is.
they're not
They're
taking
not trading for AJ Brown.
So wait a second.
I have bad news for every Eagle fan that wants to see AJ Brown gone. Senor, listen up, my friend. Okay? There's no suitors. Nobody's paying the Eagles a first-round draft pick for a $30 million diva wideout who has declining numbers, a degenerative knee, and he won't shut up on the sidelines.
And get this, folks. Just wait. The Patriots have offered a 2 and a 3. I showed you Zander. They've offered a 2 and a 3. Howie wants a 1 and a 3. We'll see what happens June 1.
Yeah, but that's until when they draft a wideout. They're going to say, we actually don't need AJ Brown.
So wait, they're going to draft a guy out of Helen Keller University to try to get back into the Super Bowl and not go.
I'm just saying they're not going to be as willing to part with the first round draft pick. They're going to say, listen, we know you have no suitors. We know the knee is bum. We know the stats. We know the stats are way down. The best we got for you is a 3 and a 4. What do you think?
The knee's toast. All right, Z. Hey, I got one for you here. Do you believe it? I'll ask you this. As far as he doesn't believe it, but maybe you do, maybe you don't. Do you think AJ or his agent have behind the scenes asked the Eagles point blank for a trade?
No. I don't think that's the way AJ operates. He's proven that
AJ or how he operates.
No, AJ.
Okay.
AJ likes to be, what's the right word for this? Is covert the right word? He's not, huh?
Covert, like a spy? Wait, a spy?
A
spy or a snake?
Covert is the right word. I mean, when AJ has a problem with the offense, what does he do? He goes on the sideline and he reads a little bookie book and he wants everybody to talk. When he doesn't want to talk to the media, he puts on his gremlin face and storms out of the locker room.
Wow.
I'm not talking. He does things subtly. He doesn't address things head on. So his way of telling the Eagles he wants a trade, they know it. The agents told him. He's never deliberately asked for it. But, he goes on podcast and he winks at Julian Edelman. He does all these goofy things. He's covert. He's not open and honest about what he wants. He wants people to read between the lines.
So it's more like, hey, I don't want to be traded.
Yeah. Well, no, it's like a chick. You ever, and all the chicks, I love all you guys, but, you ever dealt with a chick? They don't tell you what they want. They want you to read their mind. It's like, honey, I'm not a mind reader. I don't know what you want. You've got to tell me what you want. It's like, AJ's not going to tell you what he wants. He's going to want you to read between the lines.
You think he's here or not?
AJ?
Yeah.
Dude, I have no fucking idea. I have none. That's the God's honest truth. I have no clue if this guy's going to be back here. I can't tell you one way or the other. There's a lot of smoke, but I honestly believe there's no suitors. Nobody's going to give a 1. Now, will Howie settle and take a 2 or a 3?
I want to play a game with you here. All right. I did this earlier. By the way, get that damn StreamYard working right. What the hell's going on with this StreamYard?
Yeah, it's nothing I can do, brother.
Yeah, well, I know you can. I know it's them. All right.
No, I emailed them about it already. So I put in a support ticket and they called.
Support
I said, hey, I got Dan Sileo hosting a live show right now. The guy's about to punch a hole in his computer if the live chat doesn't start working. I don't know what's going on. It works on YouTube.
I did it on the fly though. I just hung in there, waited.
Yeah, you handled it. You're a professional. You can do it.
not as an internet guy, but I'm trying to be. I figured that out, so it's all good here. I want to play a game with you here. I'm not talking about players. I'm talking about groupings here. Then I'm going to ask you a question about O-line, edge, and safety here in a second, bud. Your running back room of Barkley, Tank Bigsby, Will Shipley, and Pierce. What do you make of that room?
Well, I mean, Damian Pierce is that's a shit sign. I mean, come on. People talk this stuff up so much. Damian Pierce is a nothing burger. I like Tank Bigsby, and I think Saquon still has a lot left in the tank. I think he, all things considered, I don't think Saquon was awful last year. I don't think he was great, but I think the offensive line was a bigger problem. And when you get hit in the backfield, it's going to be hard for you as a running back to dominate. And if that offensive line plays better, I think Saquon Barkley is another big year in store. Here's what I want to see, though, from the running back.
I'm talking about the room. I'm talking about Barkley, Bigsby, Shipley, and Pierce. What do you make of that room as a collective group that Howie has? What do you have assembled this right now? I agree with all that about Barkley and that. I'm talking about as you get ready for the draft in 28 days. What do you make of that room? Is it a B? Is it a C? Is it an A?
I think it's a B plus. I mean, you got Saquon Barkley. He's one of the best running backs in the game. I mean, I think that's still a damn good room. I'm not a big Will Shipley guy. I do like Tank Bigsby a lot. What I've wanted to see the Eagles do is I wish they would be more open to the, multiple running back approach. Yeah, like I don't think I think Saquon's a great player, but Saquon doesn't do everything well. Put him in a good position. Get yourself another back who kind of makes up for the deficiencies of Saquon Barkley, and then do it that way. I think that would I think it would extend the shelf life of Saquon. I think it would make your offense more versatile, give Jalen Hurts more optionality out of the backfield in terms of throwing the football, dumping it off, running, all these different things. So I've been calling for that, but I think the room is okay.
I see. I have a different opinion of that. I got a C plus as that room. Well, I'll tell you why. 67 yards a game. Bigsby and these guys are not pass catching and what you're going to try to accomplish. They're not versatile backs. They're downhill running backs. They're power backs. None of these guys are intermediate pass catching guys that you're going to try.
You don't have confidence in William Shipley to catch the ball.
No, I don't. No, I don't. Okay.
No.
So let's go to the wide receiving room. AJ Brown. Shit. AJ Brown. I should start calling him. What is it? What's the guy? AJ Jones.
Bum knee
Jones. That's it. Bum knee Jones. Bum knee Jones. No, Bum knee Brown. Devontae Smith and Hollywood Brown. Darius Cooper. Johnny Wilson. Elijah Moore. Elijah Muhammad. Britton Covey. Quezzy Watkins. What do you make of your wide receiver room? I'll show you what I'm doing here in a minute.
I mean, if they keep AJ, it's still a pretty good wide receiver room. But I do think AJ's best days are behind him. And I think every Eagle fan should think long and hard about whether it's if the Eagles are able to get a 1, then that's an enticing deal. I mean, you pointed it out yesterday. The whole theme of your show yesterday, outside of the Battle Royale, was the average age of this offense is way up there.
29-9.
It felt like just a minute ago we were talking about the young bucks on the Eagles. The young Eagles offense taking the league by storm. Young, talented Eagles offense. That's not there anymore. They're an older bunch now. Jalen Hurts is 28 years old.
Yep.
I mean, it's amazing, watching these guys get older. That's just a part of it. So you have to kind of manage that and get ready for the type of contracts that are coming up on both sides of the ball. I mean, Jalen Carter, Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, that might be $100 million of contracts right there, my friend.
What do you make of that wide receiver room?
It's okay. With AJ Brown, it's fine.
Give me a grade.
With AJ, it's a B plus. Without AJ, it's a C plus. C.
What did I put? I think I put that. I'm good with that because of Devontae. And I actually think Hollywood, it looks good in that 3 role. Let's go here. Dallas Goedert, Grant Calcaterra, Johnny Mutton stuff. Jones Smart. What do you make of the tight end room?
Dude, why'd you give Johnny Munton a nickname? You better off giving Grant Calculator a nickname. That guy's a stiff, dude. I'm so mad they brought that guy back. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, Goddard's, maybe his best days are behind him.
I gave him a C.
It's good. That's fine. I think it's a little better, but maybe not.
All right, how about this one here? Your left tackle position. Jordan Mailata, Lane Johnson, Fred Johnson, Miles Hinton. Those are your backups, and those are your starters. What do you make of that coming off of 25?
What, the offensive line?
No, tackle position. Mailata and Lane, Hinton, and Fred Johnson. Remember, I'm talking about the group. And what I'm doing here is, as you get ready for the upcoming draft, this is going to show you a little bit maybe where you're going to go and how you're going to circle to what position you're going to address. Because as of right now, again, running back.
You're far more sinister than that, Mr. Sileo.
I'm not sinister at all here. I got your offensive tackle.
Look at Sileo playing innocent. Hey, I'm just trying to figure out who you're drafting. Hey. Oh, is that what you're doing? That what you're doing, Sills?
I think your offensive tackle play, based on a year ago, is a C, don't you?
No, I do not think Jordan Mailata and Lane Johnson are a C.
Really? So you thought last year's tackle play was great?
Well, I mean, without the injuries are a problem, but the talent wasn't a problem.
Kobe Dean's not on his football team because Kobe Dean didn't stay healthy. That's
okay.
Part
you
of
think Lane Johnson and Jordan Mailata are a C? I don't.
Do you think they played a – see, you're falling in love with the name on the back of
the
jersey.
No, I'm not. The interior of the line was a big problem.
Offensive – I'm not talking about the line. I'm talking about the tackle play.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You're saying they were a C. No, the interior was a C.
Those two players played at a high level last year.
Yes.
I really, based on what?
They were the second highest graded pass protection offensive line in the NFL last year. They were the seventh highest graded offensive line overall in the league last year. You're acting like we rolled out a fucking bunch of traffic cones, dude.
You were 17th in rushing.
All right. They sucked in the run game.
Oh, and your quarterback threw the ball like he played at the Army Academy.
Yeah, and he threw 5 picks in one game, for crying out loud. I think Lane Johnson's fault.
B plus? You think B plus? I think
it's like Mailata and Lane, dude. It's an A. Stop playing with me.
I think once again, man, you're looking at the back of the names on the jersey.
No,
Junior.
I'm not, dude. They're talented. They're great football players. If you're going to dock them a little bit for the injury, that's fine.
I am
B plus then.
Okay. All right. I got C plus. You got B plus.
Dude, if you have a C plus on the tackles, you must have an L for the quarterback.
Wait, I haven't even talked about the quarterback. Here's the next group. How about your offensive guards? How about Landon Dickerson and Tyler Stink? What do you think? All right. What do you make of the guard play of a year ago? What would you say to OG? Wait. I got to do the room. My bad. It's Landon, Steen, and you don't have any backups as of right now. Okay, so you don't have really any backups, and you got Landon and Tyler Steen. What do you make of that? What would you give your guard play of a year ago?
I think C minus is the right move.
Okay.
I wish we could see the comments. I want to see what the people are saying.
We will. They'll catch up. We will.
We can't see your guys' comments right now.
We're going to get them. We'll get them. All right. Let's go to another.
C minus. What'd you put?
C minus.
How do you have a C minus for them and a C plus for the tackles? The tackles were way better than them last year.
I don't think your line played at all good.
Okay.
Yeah. It's so much so it fired your freaking O-line coach.
Oh, BS. He had a stink because Nick Sirianni wanted to run the running offense a different way. Jeff Stoutland ought to get his head out of his ass.
hey, AJ's a stiff, and Jeff Stoutland's
you want some takes today, Stills? I'm giving you some takes today, my friend.
Well, I'll tell you, man, I love it too, by the way. All right, how about your center play?
Center play, I don't know. Can you get lower?
How about your center room? Let me see. Who do you got there? Cam Jurgens and Drew Kendall.
Yeah, Cam Jurgens gets a fat F. Yeah, it's funny. I just had a call today with a gentleman who's out in Nebraska, who's helping me with some stuff for JAKIB, trying to expand our sponsorship program. And he's talking to me because Cam Jurgens is from Nebraska. And he's like, Cam Jurgens grew up in a small town in Nebraska out here, and he's a real country boy. You know, he grew up in a town of like a couple hundred people. And I'm like, well, that's great. Tell the guy to fix his back because Philly's had enough.
Hey, all I know is no wonder, man. This dude here, man, he's down in like Columbia down getting a butt tub. And this guy's used to be in like Lincoln, Nebraska.
Yeah.
Must be seeing them honeys down there. Like, see what I love about Cooper, why Cooper's my favorite Eagle. This guy goes, shakes it with the honeys in Wildwood. He's got his shirt off drinking melon balls and shots and whiskey and all kinds of shit. He goes out and he's first team All-Pro, and he's better than he was a year ago. That's my kind of guy, man. That's the kind of football player I dig. This guy's hanging with people, man, and I'm digging this guy, man. I think Z froze on me.
No, I'm not frozen.
Okay, oh, good. Let me go here. I got another one here.
I just didn't answer your syspod comment.
Hey, all right. So how about your quarterback room? Jalen Hurts, Tanner McKee, Andy Dalton. I actually like that room.
It's a good room.
I think that's a good room, dude. I'd give that a B+.
Rank them in order.
Tanner McKee, Andy Dalton, Jalen Hurts.
Oh, you don't even believe that. You don't even believe that. It was easy ammunition, everybody.
Andy Dalton. And the red rifle. Yeah, all right. Yeah.
The red rifle.
I can't wait to see him play this year. It'll be by week 6. Let's see here. Left your ends. Morrow and Jomo and Carter and Brian Young. What do you make of that edge? What do you make of that defensive end room?
Well, Jomo is here. Are you putting him in the end?
Well, they got him at left defensive end on the depth chart, and right DE, they got Carter.
Oh, okay. So they're kind of putting him inside, and then they got who? They have Nolan as outside linebacker?
Yeah, and they got the Will and the Sam. They got Jelix as your edge.
That's fine. That. I think that's a pretty good room if you have Carter and Jomo in there. Yeah, I'm good with that. Hell yeah.
And I actually like the kid Brian Young. I thought I saw him.
Yeah, he was solid. I liked what's his name, the Thomas Booker that they got rid of. But
yep. All right, your nose tackle. You don't really have any backups. I think they got to get more depth for him and help him a little bit. But Jordan had a really good year a year ago. There's just nobody listed behind him right now that what Clint gave me on your depth chart. Okay, your edges. Nolan Smith, Jalix Hunt, Jose Ramirez, the raid on Itabi, Arnold Ikedibi. Those are your edges on your edge room. What do you make of that? How do you think? Again, give me a grade on that edge room.
Yeah, that's a C, maybe. That's an optimistic C.
I gotta have a C- on that one. I think this is exceptional. Jahad Campbell, Jalix Hunt, Jeremiah Trotter, Munden. I think it's exceptional. I think
this is why Nakobe Dean left, because the linebacker room lost him and it's still really good.
It's an A. Don't you think that's an A room?
Yeah. Yeah. I'll give it an A.
A-, you want to go?
You're kind of a softie, so you have like a lighter grading system than I do a little bit. So
okay.
Oh man, I'm trolling you today, man.
Let's see here. Here we go. All right, so let's see here. We got Tariq Woolen, Quinyon Mitchell, Keely Bingo, Jonathan Jones. Those are your cornerback rooms. What do you make of that?
That's great.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Q's great. If you take Q out of that room, that's a C.
Oh, yeah. Wait. How about that, everybody? If you just take out the first team All-Pro starter, then the room's not that good.
We're talking
the Browns edge rushing room if you take out Miles Garrett.
We're not talking about just one guy. We're
See,
talking
this is this
about
bullshit exercise. This is why Sileo does this crap. I'm talking about the room because now the fifth edge rusher or the fifth cornerback is as important as Quinyon Mitchell. Get that shit out of here.
So wait a minute.
Sileo.
Are you trying to tell me depth wasn't a problem last year on your football team?
Depth was a little bit of a problem. Defense was fine.
Oh, until you signed and had to go out of the house because all the trash cans you brought into the house started smelling. Joshua Uche.
Need some fresh cans, man.
Need some fresh. Here's one last one here. This is a great exercise, man. This is a big Sills win here.
Man, this exercise is keister, dude.
What's this? Marcus Epps, Andrew Makuba, JT Gray, and Andre Sam. There's
I still can't believe you just went. Let's grade the cornerbacks in Philly, everybody, but don't include the first team.
No. If you take the all-pro corner out, you ain't got a room.
There he goes again.
Okay, watch this. Okay, 13 months ago, when you had Isaiah Rodgers and you had Slay and you had Q, you think that room was pretty good with Isaiah there as your fourth corner?
Well, you just docked Lane Johnson off an A for missing games. Darius Slay missed half the year that year.
Huh. Was it still a good room with depth and everything? Pretty
Well,
good.
yeah, you had Rodgers.
I know. Get this. When you lost Lane, you had to put Fred Hot Dog in.
Come on, man. Put some respect on Freddie.
I know.
J,
I got him, man. I like old Fred, man.
I like Freddie J, man. I like Fred.
That's good, man. Look at that there. So here's my point. Shit, man. You could add a running back in the 5th or 6th round. You can add a wide receiver, depending on what you do with AJ, in the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd. A tight end, you could go 1, 2, or 3. Old offensive tackle, you could go 1, 2, or 3. OG, you could go 1, 2, or 3. Quarterback, you're set. You don't do anything there. Okay? I mean, really, and that Zander, everyone's looking at edge in that 1st round. I don't know, bro. I might want to start thinking about restocking that O-line and that offense.
Yeah, that's what they're doing, dude. That's what they're going to do.
So you think they do that at 23?
Yeah, offense. We need an offensive lineman. I would hold firm, and I would potentially move up if they need to, and I would get an offensive lineman. We don't need a kid. We don't need to get a secondary player. We don't need to get a skill position guy. We don't need to get a tight end. You win football games. You build great football teams in the trenches. Your trenches right now are battered and bruised and old. You got to get younger. You got to get reinforcements. You got to add depth. You got to add great players to that room.
Boy, I'll tell you, man, the guy that's starting to pick up a lot of steam is Sadiq to the Eagles. No? You don't think it's starting to pick up a lot of folks?
It is, but I don't think Sadiq. I don't think that should be the pick. We don't have that luxury.
I don't know, dude. I think that thing's picking steam up. I've seen a lot.
The Eagles don't have the luxury of doing that. Your offensive line's not good enough. You don't get the draft up for, by the way, a tight end who can't block a traffic cone. I mean, come on, man.
Help me out here, okay? I can't wait to see Sean Filet Mignon and his new Tokyo phone book offensive playbook and what he's gonna I can't wait to see this guy's playbook, dude. Old Lane talking about it too. Like I told Farzy, you know what Sean Mannion's playbook reminds me of? A treasure map. You're looking at all these great things, and then all of a sudden you go to the X spot, you find a spoon.
Oh, come on. And then you got to use the spoon and dig.
Yeah, for more spoons.
No, you get a golden chest at the bottom.
Oh,
wait. Only the fat and the lazy and the ugly and the dumb are the ones who don't go digging.
That's correct. You got to dig for your own gold. Listen, that's correct. Now, but all I'm saying is Sean Mannion, the playbook. Here it is right here. Folks, I'll show it to you. It's that thick.
Nah, it's like this thick. This is the Manning playbook. So Jalen Hurts should be studying up right now.
Oh, Jesus. Jalen Hurts.
This is my Corvette book.
Ooh. Ooh, I like it.
Yeah.
What kind of engine? What kind you got in there? You don't got a 287 in there, right?
No. It's a new motor, dude.
Got a
287.
V8 in there? Got a V8 in there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw the picture. I saw the picture you put up of your vet.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah.
Bro, they gave me that bitch.
I like how you've been putting your pictures and getting them cleared up.
Oh my God, this AI thing is without a doubt the greatest thing I've ever seen.
What do you do? Drop them in the grok and just say, "Make this clear."
Yeah, I go like this. Better picture.
Yeah,
that's all they say to them. Yeah,
just clear it up.
Better picture. It's fucking remarkable. Hey, I got 3 groups for you. Then we're done. You ready? I'm gonna do edge. Here's my edge group. My 5 edge guys. By the way, I'm starting to think that Keldrick Falk guy is the dude. More and more.
I was really surprised you had him behind the Missouri player. I like the Missouri player, but I like Keldrick Falk.
You could be right. Here's the 5 guys. This kid Bailey, man. The more and more you watch him, the more and more you watch his tape, the more and more you see him, he's really looks like great.
Hey, Grok, make me cute.
Hey, wait. Here's another one. Hey, Grok.
Only Sileo puts in pictures of himself in the AI all night. Says, "Hey, Grok, show me what I looked like back in the glory days."
30, at least 30 yesterday. How about this one? Hey, Grok, make Jalen Hurts a better passer.
Yo, that's foul, Sileo. That is foul, Sileo.
I gotta tweet that later.
Oh,
man.
no.
Hey, Grok, make Jalen Hurts a better.
Oh gosh. You gotta be kidding me, man. You
hey, Grok. Hey, Grok, make Dak win a game in the playoffs.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Rattle up the Cowboy fans. That's hilarious.
Oh my God. Arvell Reese 2nd. I got Bain 3rd. Hey, why does John think they're gonna play him at DT?
Because John's in love with arm length. But I get it. It is a thing because the tackles in the NFL are behemoths.
Look at Lane. Look at the Lane.
Hey, you're not getting by Lane without some reach.
Bro, if you got alligator arms on Lane, he's going to stuff you in a box.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
So
it's a thing. Maybe John's right.
Yeah, but I don't think you just go, "Hey, kid, go play DT." You know?
Yeah, but I don't. Here's what I understand.
Shorter arms inside against who? Landon?
You think he falls?
Yeah.
Me too.
I do. Dude, okay, so I like Zion Young, man. He's a big kid. He's got a great motor. He kind of fits what Vic like. These last 2 dudes, listen, man, if Zion Young and Keldrick Falk are down there at 23, I think they're going to have a tough time passing on one of them 2 dudes because they're kind of Vic guys. That Keldrick Falk reminds me of Carlos Dunlap, who played – this guy was really a good player, Zander. Not a big-name guy. Had 100 sacks. Played 13 years. Had never less than 8.5 sacks a year. Set the edge. Played well. I mean, that's your kind of guy that – isn't that Jalen Phillips?
In a way, yeah. I don't want Jalen Phillips though. You know, like he's good, but I don't want to shoot. No, I want him. That's not what I mean. I mean, I don't want to shoot for Jalen Phillips in the first round. If you fall on him, that's okay. Well, I don't know. You tell me.
You're at 23. You're gonna have to wait.
The Dolphins drafted him in the first round. They let the guy walk for a 3.
True. Then again, you think the Dolphins know what they're doing at 175?
No, I don't know if they know they're asking a hole in the wall. They're not very good.
Out of all them dudes, who do you like the most? Or maybe you're someone else you like.
No, I think. Well, I'm trying to be realistic. I don't think the guys at the top are coming near us. So
Reese
the guys
Bailey.
top, yeah,
no, they're not going to be there.
I think Keldrick Falk is I like
a guy.
Him a lot. Yeah,
I'm going to circle that guy's name too.
I like him. I think he's going to go before 23, but I do like that player. I like Zion too. I think.
Could you see Howie moving up to get him?
I could see it. I mean, it depends what it's going to cost because
three spots, something like that.
It's just what's it cost? Because Howie's going to need those 2s and 3s, dude. He's got a 2, 2 3s, and 2 4s this year, and he's going to need them all, I think.
Okay,
I mean, think about it, Sills. You need a draft right now. You need a draft. I think 2 offensive linemen, but at least one. You need to draft a safety. You need to draft an edge. You need to draft a wide receiver. You need to draft a tight end.
2 starters and 2 backups.
Just saying, you need a lot of guys. I mean, you need, and even if they're not starters, you need reinforcements on the football team.
Let me just say this to you, man. When you go back to 2018, they really have drafted well since 18.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, 18, they've really turned the corner, man. Like, even in that Rager draft, Hurts covers it, right?
Yeah, you get a starting quarterback in the second round. None of the other picks really matter.
No. Just not that. MVP, $50 million guy.
Yeah, right.
Like, I mean, right? All right. Here's my old lineman. Francis Magala, the kid from Miami, number 1. I got Monroe Freeling from Georgia, number 2. I got the kid from Utah at number 3. I don't know how to say the kid's name. Ione? Penn State?
Yeah, Vega. Yeah, just say Vega.
Okay, Vega. And I got your boy Caden Proctor. And the only interior offensive lineman is the kid from Penn State. So I've got that's my top 5. And if I had to pick one that I think the Eagles could be on, I'm going to tell you, I think the Penn State guard and the Alabama Proctor kid could be somebody that the Eagles have eyeballs on. I heard you guys talking about Freeling, right?
Yeah, I think Freeling's going to go high, but I freaking love Freeling. He's a beast, dude. He looks like a freaking NFL tackle. That guy looks like an NFL tackle. So I like him a lot. I just don't think he'd be there. But like that's kind of an example. I mean, if you think Freeling's going to be gone or Blake Miller and one of those guys is who you like, I mean, you got to go. You got to go because how much longer can we do this? You know, we've done the same thing with Goddard, guys, and then you see what happens now. I think the Eagles kind of got lucky with Goddard that maybe nobody wanted him, but I don't think you play that Lane Johnson card that way. Like wait until he's gone to try and address it. Like that's not a good move to me. And by the way, it's not what they've done historically. I mean, look at the replacement to Jason Kelsey. Look at the replacement to who else did they do it with? Where they got to put somebody in the room? Didn't they do that before already? No, Jurgens. That was it.
Well, in theory, they did it with Carter to replace
Cox. Cox. That's what I was thinking of. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, well, the one thing though that I would say to you about that AJ Brown commentary of yours, I think that wine cooler you're drinking's getting to you, bro.
Bro, it's a freaking seltzer water, you goose.
This guy's drinking a wine cooler and he's talking like he's like Julio Jones.
Cranberry Clementine. Honestly, tasted like crap. It is.
Oh my God. All right. So here's my safety. You're never going to get Caleb Downs. I don't know if you're going to get the guy from Oregon.
No, we're not. And they're not using the safety they're not drafting a safety in round 1.
You think all these safeties go in the first round? The kid from Toledo, the kid from Pitt, the kid from South Carolina?
No, not him. How many safeties you expect to go in round 1?
I didn't say I got 5 guys I said I like. I didn't say they were first rounders.
Yeah, I think maybe 2 of them or 3 of them at most.
I think 2 go in the first.
Yeah, 2 Caleb and Thieneman or whatever his name is.
Yeah. Could you see them going safety in the second?
Nah, too high. Maybe. I mean, I'm not going to rule it out. They need a safety. But how are you going to draft a safety when you have 2 all-pro cornerbacks? You have defensive tackles. You spend how many first-round picks on defensive players? I mean, they spent a second-round pick last year on Andrew Makuba. Dude, the offense stinks.
Okay. So that means, the way I'm reading it, tight end, wide receiver in the first 2 picks.
No, offensive freaking line.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't be mad if they draft a tackle in 1 and a guard in 2. I will not be mad.
It sounds to me like they're going to trade down, if not anything.
I agree. I said the same thing.
They're going to trade down and get multiple second-round picks.
Exactly what I thought. What could they turn 23 into?
Oh, God, a bounty. You could do this. You can go to a team that wants to trade back in to get your quarterback from Alabama. By the way, that kid somehow, again, it's the position, has skyrocketed. Look at his tape at Alabama.
You know, I don't sleep on my guy, Ty.
Good. Look at his tape at Alabama.
I'm falling into the draft hype for Ty Simpson.
He had one great game. That was the OU game.
Yeah, but he can read a defense.
You think it's more than, hey, so you think it's the head coach?
Well, I've never liked him anyway, so. But he's a first round. Look, he's a processor.
You think he's better than Jackson Dart?
I'm not a Jackson Dart guy.
Okay.
I'm sorry, folks. I am not a Jackson.
You think he's better than Shador?
Yeah.
Okay. Dylan Gabriel? How about this one? You think your boy Ty Simpson's better than Tanner McKee?
No.
So Tanner McKee was a very severely under.
Yeah, he was underdrafted. Hell yeah, he was underdrafted.
Okay. So, hey, we're 20. What is it? 28 days away from the NFL draft. 28. It's like 4.5 weeks.
I thought it was 29.
From tonight. You get it from tonight.
It's 28 2 hours. You're right. 28 days.
Till
28 days, 2 hours, 37 minutes.
To tonight. Because the draft's on Thursday.
Yeah, I know.
There you go, Junior.
It's 4 weeks.
4 weeks, and the Eagles have done what up to the draft? They've signed
Nothing all that good.
Are you a Super Bowl contender?
No, not right now. They weren't a Super Bowl contender a year ago. They got bounced by the fucking 49ers who had a bunch of stiflers playing.
All emails to Zander Krause.
Speaking of emails. Speaking of emails, I just got one.
Emails to Zander Krause. All hate mail. See, I've not been a hater today. I've been like, what are you talking about? I've been giving you nothing but great kudos to you guys. Oh, I got one last one here for you. Are you more concerned about the loss of Jeff Stoutland or the hiring of Sean Mannion?
I'm concerned about both equally.
No. That's not the question, Junior.
Yeah.
I'm asking you the loss of Stoutland.
Oh, wait. You get to ask the questions and now you get to fucking answer them too?
Hey, are you more concerned about the loss of Stoutland or the hiring of Sean Mannion?
I'll say that loss of Stoutland because of this. Sean Mannion can't succeed without an offensive line that can play. And if the offensive line plays like it did last year, Sean Mannion could be the next greatest thing since sliced bread. He's not going to have success. So, especially with the team the way it's built, Jalen Hurts is a certain style of quarterback. That's a style of quarterback that relies on a great run game, relies on the offensive line being good. Some quarterbacks can make up for stuff. Doesn't mean they have as much success, but they make up for things differently. I think the Eagles have proved they need a great offensive line to compete, and it's even a little bit more alarming, which is why I want you to be honest about it, is that the offensive line was good last year. It wasn't great. No, you're missing what I'm saying. Most teams don't have a historic offensive line. If you need a historic offensive line, you get what I'm saying? If you need the offensive line to perform at levels that supersede every other team in football, that is a bad recipe. That's not realistic. The offensive line was good enough last year to win. The Eagles couldn't throw the ball to save their life.
I saw an offensive line with the Cowboys win 3 Super Bowls in 4 years on a consistent basis that ran motherfuckers over every single day. And we're consistently doing that. And they had what people in this place call sometimes a sick one Barkley type player in Emmett Smith. And they did that for 5 years, and they really did that for the most of 10 years.
Look at fucking Broccoli Alfredo. Says, if the old line was good enough, that was KP's. I know, Alfredo. It was all Kevin Petula. Jalen Hurts needs to play better. AJ Brown needs to play better. But Cam Jurgens, Landon Dickerson. Yo, Brussels sprout. Wake up.
I think that wine cooler's got the best of you today, kid.
No, I took you to the woodshed, and you don't know how to handle it.
Oh, yeah. You took me to the woodshed.
Dude, you're like Senor today, dude.
Yeah, you're telling me.
I'm picking up my dry cleaning after work. It's Dan Sileo.
Hey, Grok, I'd like to have a quarterback who could read a defense.
Yeah, speaking of Grok, can I teach you something?
Please help me, because you know what?
So
I got 5 more pictures. I got 5 more pictures to go through tonight.
Senor, I said openly Jalen Hurts has to be better. The guy stunk on ice last year and really the last 2 years. I mean, you're the 26th passing offense in football. Hey, quarterback, wake the fuck up and smell the roses. All right? So Grok's got a little feature, Sileo, and sometimes when you type, you can tell you got a little corrodas, or you might not know how to, get your point across. Or,
very true.
It's not the best. It's not the most readable verbiage. So Grok is a little feature. You got your Twitter open over there?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. Type out whatever tweet you want to do to make people angry or whatever.
Okay, let me see. Let's see here.
Grok, can you make Jalen?
Yeah, Grok. Oh, Grok. Let me go here. Here we go. Grok, can you please make
all right, no, wait, don't send it yet. I want to teach you something before you send it.
A better quarterback. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I didn't send it.
All right, now there's a little button there under where you typed it. All right, and it's a little.
Is it the circle thing?
Yeah. Wait, no.
Is it the third to the left?
No. Yeah. Wait. Why isn't it showing up now? It was showing. Is it only on phone?
Oh, is it?
Because Grok is they have a proofread button, and they'll rewrite your tweet that makes it more suitable for Twitter.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. So they can rewrite your gibberish that fucking people can barely have any idea what the hell you're trying to say.
Let's see if it's on my phone. Grok.
Dude, did they get rid of it? Oh, you know what? It might be it might be only JAKIB account because I got the premium plus.
The yellow one?
No, not the yellow one.
Oh, please.
Oh man, I gave you bad intel. It can't even help you. It can't even help you. Sorry-ass tweets.
No, there's nothing there. Yeah, no. I'm gonna send that anyway.
Here's the projected trade from Chat Sports. Eagles receive Myles Garrett. The Browns receive a 2027 one, a 2028 one, and wide receiver AJ Brown.
You think that gets it done? You think that would get it done?
I would. If I were the Browns, I would say no, thank you.
I don't know, but here. Oh, Grok wrote me back. If you could tweak quarterbacks like code, I'd max out this deep ball accuracy and pocket patience overnight. Jalen's already elite. What? With his legs and leadership.
Grok tells Sileo Jalen Hurts is elite.
What's the biggest fix you'd make? Oh, this can't be true.
I had a phone call this morning with some dude who does stuff with my LLC banking, and they're trying to get a gauge on the what business owners are using AI with. And I'm showing this guy my AI setup, and he's like, "Dude, what the fuck? Are you a software engineer?" I'm like, "No, dude. I just work all day. I'll try to build out my systems because AI does all of our back-end stuff nowadays." So
wait, if you could tweak quarterbacks like code, I'd max out this deep ball accuracy and pocket presence overnight. Jalen's already elite with his legs and leadership. Let's manifest that Super Bowl run instead. What's the biggest fix you'd make? I give him a pair of glasses to read a defense.
Oh, man.
A pair of glasses. Glasses to read a defense.
Oh, my gosh.
Let's see what they say. Hang on, don't go nowhere. I'd give him a pair of glasses to read a defense. Let's see what he says. That's a pretty damn good.
Hills and Grok, a new JAKIB show.
Yeah, look at this, man. Absolutely, there.
Yeah, you know how what's it called was talking about AI. Howard was talking about making an AI. I'm thinking of making like an AI Sileo and just rage baiting the people. Just like just like take Sileo's most bombastic takes in the last 4 years and make an AI Sileo and just make Eagle fans mad about it. See if we can rage bait some people.
Let's see. Hold on here if they responded. Oh, hold on. I don't think I. Yeah. So how would you? And I said, yeah, I'd give him a pair of glasses to read a defense.
Rasputin, I'm working on. I'm trying to build a local model right now. It's very challenging. It's obviously very hard, but
hey, I got an idea. Why don't you do this? Why don't you just like make a host up?
Yeah, that's what I was
Put him
saying.
in the midday.
Yeah, I could do that. That'd be. I mean, I would probably do a new channel for that.
Can you do that?
Yeah.
Jesus criminy, man. Pretty soon, like you're not going to have like news anchors on the air any longer doing like.
Yeah, I still think there's going to be. Look, I mean, I think the information stuff is going to change a lot, but I think there's going to be. I mean, how are humans no longer going to want to be entertained by humans? I don't think so. I don't know. Who knows, man? I'm prepared for whatever happens to be.
Yeah, but you know what I think you're going to get one day? I think you're going to get somebody coming up with a way to make a movie with Marlon Brando.
Come up with the way. They already got the way, brother.
And get this, a brand new movie of Marlon Brando in a movie that he's never acted in.
Yeah.
And you're going to have a movie like that. And I think isn't this one of the things that these people in Hollywood are bitching about is because.
Dude, look, let me show you. Let me show the people this. I built this. This was my big AI project this year. My big AI project was, so the first thing I was doing is I was building stuff out for other stuff, but I also optimized the JAKIB platform. So like I used to have, virtual assistants who would cut our clips and cut our shows. And it's a lot of post-production work. I did it all myself for like 4 years, but when I'm hosting the morning show, doing this show, I can't do all the post-production. So I built out a pipeline, which is basically an open call agent that lives on its own computer on my desk, and it records your show. So right now it's recording your show as we speak. And then when the show ends, the AI reads the transcript of the show and it pulls out the segments from your show. Huh. So I don't go and cut our segment anymore.
Wow.
The AI reads the transcript. It knows that I was on from 3:30.
But you gotta pick like the.
I just approve it. So I'll show you guys what I do here.
Wow, I had no idea that. I thought you were. So you're not doing it old school, just looking for clips.
No. One thing I'm trying to figure out is how to get them posted on like the social.
Shit,
but I care about YouTube.
That must save you hours.
This is like, look, we get one live show. Right here is the live show. So this would be like the National Football Show. From each live show, we get 5 long forms, 5 clips plus. It's really 8 clips now for the clips channel, 6 pieces of audio for the podcast platforms, 8 articles for the website, and 10 short forms for the YouTube Shorts program. So like one live show for us becomes really 35 pieces of content.
Prince is right. You know what AI is going to lead to, right? Unemployment.
Yeah, but people always bet against humanity, dude. Humanity will prevail. Humanity will find ways. The people who are going to succeed the most, I believe, are the people who understand how to implement things and understand how to direct these things. I mean, you're never going to get to a world, at least I don't think. I mean, they call it the singularity where AI just knows how to fix everything itself. But I don't know. I mean, we'll find out. Here, look, I'll show you this too. This is cool. This is my here, look. This is good shit right here. Anybody who's in business, this is free game right here. This is straight up free game. All right, look, this is my Telegram chat with my AI agent, Max. So this morning's Birds 365, ready? Was all right, capture complete, 1.9 gigabytes, 2 hours, 24 minutes. Verified, 1080p, 1.9 gigabytes. All right, starting wave extraction and transcription. Then it transcribes everything. Then it gives me my cut plan. All right, so long form 1, long form 2, long form 3, long form 4. Nolan Smith, make or break. Devontae Smith, ready to be wide receiver. Safety draft class, wide receiver draft class, Eagles draft strategy. Those are the things. Then I get to make sure the timestamps are perfect, whatever. Approve it. There's my final approval. Okay, boom. Then it uploads it via API right to my YouTube channel. I just do the final titles, the thumbnails, and post it. Maya Marie, who does that, she's phenomenal. So, and then I do the next thing. I had to fix something there. Then I have tier 2. So it pulls the show, finds the biggest topics from hour 1 and hour number 2. Then it pulls me my 6 clips for the clips channel. That's my JAKIB clips channel that you've seen. That's my new channel. Boom. Then it publishes there. Then I get the articles. So the articles are next. 5 articles published from the show. Then I get the shorts. 8 shorts identified from the show.
Wow. What a tool.
Yeah. Dude, I worked so freaking hard on building this. You know, people think it just comes out of the box like this stuff, dude. It's not like that. Like, I worked literally all night. You have to download the software and then build it? But it's more about training the software, and then you build skills. Like, this is free game we're giving out here today. Look at this. This here is called.
Is this stuff expensive?
And it's not expensive compared to humans.
Got it.
This here is what I call my knowledge graph. So, like, whenever you talk to an AI, it's like, how does it know? How does my AI know who Dan Sileo is? How does my AI know who Jalen Hurts is? How does my AI know what businesses Zander Krause works on? How does my AI know when to take cuts of content? How does my AI know what's going to work? So you build a knowledge graph, and it learns everything. So this is my knowledge graph right here. You can see these are all my business stuff over here. I'll hide some of that stuff. But these are all my business documents, and everything is connected, right? So this is MOC JAKIB. So that MOC means a map of content. And you can see how many things the map of content links to. And then that's all connected. So my AI just peruses this every day. It knows they're John, ZK, Dad, John, Dan, Marie. It knows all my people, knows all my shows, knows all my pipelines, knows everything. And then it puts it all into a graph where it can organize everything and pull from all the knowledge that it has.
This is crazy.
Yeah, it's wild, dude. It's crazy what's happening.
How long did you take you to
all day? All day for 2 months straight. That's all I've done in 2026 is just build systems. Because I'm not doing I look at the AI picture. Oh, come on, Jimbo.
That's pretty funny, dude.
Yeah.
You think it's dangerous?
No. I mean, like, everybody says shit's dangerous, bro. What is it? Is it more dangerous than what? What? It's more dangerous than the nukes we have since the 1960s? I mean, you know, humans will prevail, as they always do.
Yeah, Gronk didn't want to answer my question that Hurts needs a pair of glasses to read the defense. He gave me some other bullshit thing here, so whatever. Big Z, that was fun, man. Actually, I learned a lot there.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That really is, dude. That really is. All right. Big Z, we will catch you in the morning on Birds 365. My brother and I will catch you then.
I'm sorry I took you to the woodshed today.
Oh, yeah. I feel spanked.
Later, brother.
Yeah, you got it, brother. I'll talk to you later. That's my boy, Big Z. Yes, sir. Let's pay some bills here. My great friends at Morgan & Morgan, the #1 injury law firm in all of America for a reason. That is because they win. I tell you about our friends down in Florida who were initially offered $350,000. They ended up getting nearly $13 million in settlement, or the family right here in Pennsylvania that was given $650K as settlement. Morgan & Morgan said, no way, they got nearly $30 million in settlement. This will be the easiest decision you ever make in your life. Go to forthepeople.com/big sales or pound love 529. That's forthepeople.com/big sales or pound love 529. And do me a favor, you tell them Big Sales sent you.
There's a reason Detective Johnson is the gossip king.
Oh, did you hear? Jackie and Tom
are getting a divorce? Sad.
Well, I heard that Ashley
Had work done on her face? Yeah, oof.
Just like there's a reason Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. Injured? With over $25 billion recovered for our clients, there's a reason to go big.
Bathroom? Okay.
Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Oh, okay.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica, who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Welcome to the Jet Setters and the High Rollers, to the Shot Takers and the Tastemakers. Welcome to the Viewfinders, the Thrill Seekers, and the Night Owls. Welcome to everything you could possibly want on one 5-mile island. Welcome to the Wildwoods. Book your stay today.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We go the extra mile to lend a helping hand.
Thank you.
We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong. We've been deeply rooted in our communities for more than 85 years. And that connection to members has earned us our spot as the #1 health insurer in the region. So while you look out for your neighbors, know IBX is always looking out for you.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
EAGLES. Eagles.
Oh, ye of little faith. Sill's looking at this like stars in space, trying to understand astronomy. Nah, dude, I never looked up. I looked straight ahead because I knew what Big Sills was going to do in life. I don't dream in the stars. I don't do this. I hope I could do this. I hope I could do that. I hope I could do this. And let me wish upon a star. No, I actually went out and worked for it. How you doing? Yes, sir. MJ Fishing Maniac. How E of little faith. She'll say, hey, you know, I love you at the same time. You and my wife have a lot in common. Yeah. Not giving Carter for Miles, anyone but Carter. Dude, you're under the impression that Carter will ever be the player that Myles Garrett is. You're out of your mind. Hey, you better pray, Miles. You better pray that Jalen Carter is as good as Fletcher Cox one day. Hey, that's a great comment there. How many people in here think that Jalen Carter is a better player at the beginning of their careers than Fletcher Cox was? I don't. Fletcher Cox was a better football player at the beginning of his career than what Jalen Carter is. Do you think Jalen Carter has had a better start to his career than Fletcher Cox? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't think so. Fletcher Cox. And yeah, you're right. Hey, I'm sure Jalen Carter and that stiff year he had a year ago. Yeah, he's a better player. Yeah, but look at the numbers. What numbers? No way is he better than Fletcher. If Carter wants bad enough, he'll get there. Yes, I agree with you. And I love that you are letting people share honest feelings about Odyssey, Philadelphia. They need to be told. Yeah, well, nobody in that market will ever go after Odyssey and tell the truth. Odyssey's biggest problem, my friend, has been that when they bought CBS, their stock went from like 300 or whatever it was, like $50 to $2. It destroyed them because they brought those stupid CBS programmers in who are not very good. CBS radio programmers, they just closed CBS News Radio. That's not a shocker. CBS Radio was a train wreck. I had Les Moonves on about 7 years ago on my radio show. You know, does anybody know who Les Moonves is or was? He was the chairman of CBS. And he came on my program and said, we're getting rid of radio. Radio does nothing for us. And he hated the radio division. And the radio division built CBS. And I asked him why he hated the radio division. And he said because they have crappy programmers. And those crappy programmers are one of the guys that are retiring. That David Yardoff guy, he was terrible. Single-handedly won a playoff game and helped us win a Super Bowl in the second. His highs were higher than Fletcher Cox's first 2 years. Okay, guy. And he was a freaking dud last year. I don't ever remember Fletcher Cox being a dud. Do you? I don't ever remember that player playing shitty. Like, I don't ever remember that guy. He was the second best defensive tackle next to Aaron Donald in the NFL. Injured last year. Yeah, keep making excuses for the guy. How about when he got himself thrown out of the game? Was he hurt in the Cowboy game too? Look up the numbers. Yeah, look up the numbers. No, you're right. He's a better player. We'll see. We'll see. He's a better player than Fletcher Cox right now. Wow. Then why are they putting his name in for trades? What the Micah Parsons, the Myles Garrett of a year ago? How come every time there's a Max Crosby, how come his name is being brought up for trades? How come the Eagles are willing to move him if he's so important? How come? I mean, if he's such a centerpiece, how come he's being brought up? Okay? So is Cox a Hall of Famer? Close. Fletcher Cox is close. Let me see in sacks here. 70 sacks for an interior guy as a defensive tackle. Let me see defensive tackles and sacks. He's such a great player. Man, I'm a big fan. Defensive tackle, sacks, Hall of Famers. List. So John Randall's got 137. Sapp's got 96. Brian Young has 89.5. He's got 19 and a half more. All-time sacks. Let me see here. Hall of Fame guys. All-time sacks. Sack leaders. Good. I like the 61. Defensive tackles. Let me go down to where he is at 70 and go down here with 70 for Fletcher. All right. Fletcher Cox at 70. Curly Culp has 68 and a half. He's in the Hall of Fame. I think that number's too low. I think it's too low for him to be in. Let's see anybody close, like a little bit above him. John Dutton's not in. He's got 73. Ray Childress at 76 and a half. Is he a Hall of Famer? No. That's who I'd compare him to, is Ray Childress. 76 and a half. He was somebody like, wow, he had 172 tackles one year, 135 tackles. That's incredible for a defensive tackle or an end. So he's kind of like that. But he's more of an excuse me, he's more of an end. That's not a fair comparison. Brandon Graham's not a Hall of Famer. As an edge rusher, let's see where he is. 79 and a half. And he's a defensive end. Hugh Douglas actually has 80. Like Leslie O'Neal's a defensive end. Leslie O'Neal's a defensive end. Get this. Leslie O'Neal has 132 and a half sacks, and he's not in the Hall of Fame. Al Baker's got 131. Coy Bacon's got 130. Simeon Rice has got 122. I mean, J.J. Watt will probably get in. Harvey Martin's got 114. Randy White's got 111. Randy's in. Gastineau's got 107, and he's not in. Tutal's got 106. Brandon will never get in, but Brandon's a great player. Great player. On next episode of Young and the Restless Eagles, will the stem cells let the old line get healthier again? Or will AJ's best friend turn on him? Tune in to 2 p.m. on the Dan Sileo Show for exciting conclusions of Young and the Restless Eagles. God, that's a great take. Absolutely. Sills, can you ask Jason Cole the next time you have him on? Yes, I definitely will. He's close, but I don't think so. 12:10 needs to change formats as soon as possible. No one cares about the current format. Yeah, agreed. Agreed. By the way, I don't know who's on that old 610 stick of I don't know who's still on that 610 stick, that WIP old stick. Somebody should turn that thing into a sports thing because that's a great signal. That's like the old 660 in New York. The old WNBC. That WNBC stick back in the day, they may have powered it down. But when WNBC had 660 WNBC, I actually had a moment on that 660 stick, the old WNBC stick, the one that Stern was on and all them guys. I did a week of shows on that thing. That's a Hollywood. That was great. Agreed. Let's see here. 1210 stopped being a heritage radio station when CBS ended WCAU AM after 68 years and 90. What a tragedy. But see, CBS radio has been dying for about 30 years. And the last real true good CBS station, not sports, was actually 1010 Wins in New York. And a guy by the name of Jeremy Coleman ran it. It was pretty good. And for about 20 years, that thing was really doing well. Now, the big thing they had a problem with, they had a massive amount of listeners, but what they never had was long format. And it was all news, top of the hour, bottom of the hour. Remember 1010 on the news. So every 10 minutes, you would get like people coming in and anchors would come in and go, 1010 News wins. And so they would come in and give you that. And they stopped doing that format. I don't know why. They got massive ratings and they got tremendous numbers when they did that. They just ended it. I wonder if Odyssey would put Westwood One Sports on 1210 soon to replace GOP Talk. Here's the thing, though, in Philly. Nobody's going to listen to national network stuff. They'd rather have you talk about cheesesteaks. That's the difference with national stuff and with local stuff. People in Philadelphia don't give a shit about what's going on in Seattle. They don't care what's going on in New Jersey. They give a shit about that. They care what's going on with the teams in New York and Philadelphia. Just like the teams in New York. Nobody gives a shit about Boston. Nobody cares about Seattle in New York. So what is Carter's trade value? Depends who you're trading for. Myles Garrett, you're the second in that trade. If you're trading for to trade him away, you're the number one share in that trade. If you're talking about trading for somebody like Myles Garrett or like a Will Anderson, you're the second dude in that room. Seals, you think Howie makes a big move on draft day? No. Now, I think Howie makes a big move June 2nd. That's his big day. But draft, he's either going to go up or down. And depending on how Ty Simpson can change the draft a little bit. Okay? Either way, let's see here. Black Information Network is on what's on 610. I have no idea what that is. That 610 signal was great, dude. I listened to WIP when I lived in Stamford, Connecticut. And I listened to all, like in 86, that was my sophomore year at UM. And that was my junior year at UM. And I listened to that as a kid growing up, 610 WIP. You could hear that and 660. And those were the two sports stations that I listened to growing up, was WFAN and WIP. I didn't really hear the Boston stations. I heard the WIP because it would come right up the coast. And I would listen, and it was great. Holy cow. Here we go. Guys, I appreciate you very much. Already, man. Tomorrow will be 27 days until the NFL draft. Enjoy your tournament tonight. Sweet 16, then Elite 8, then you get down to the Final Four, and then next Monday, it'll be National Championship night. So, opening day, hope all went well. I'll see you tomorrow, 2 to 6, and we'll catch you on the flip side.